Tar Heel hockey.
It's about more than just a game.
It's about the symbol on the front of the jersey and the pride behind wearing Carolina blue. It's about upholding the culture of Carolina, which breeds hard work, integrity, and dedication.
It's about carrying the legacy of those who wore it before you,
and laying the foundation for those who will wear it after. Tonight, it's about heart. Tonight, it's about a rivalry. Tonight, it's a fight for Carolina. This is Tar Heel hockey.
Well, we take this college hockey rivalry down I-40 to the Gate City to First Horizon Coliseum. NC State Ice Pack take on the UNC Tar Heels. Nick Perazzi alongside Grace Mata. And Grace, these two teams played last night. It was a great game. NC State ended up taking it 4-1 in a game, though, that UNC outplayed NC State in almost every facet of the game.
You hate to see, as an NC State fan, or even actually as a UNC fan, you hate to see an empty net goal be let in to secure NC State's win. But Ammons opened the scoring up early on the first shift for NC State last night. But Reese Johnson sealed the 4-1 win at the end of the game. But it was a good game all around. I have to say UNC definitely did show up a little more.
Yeah, definitely. And one thing UNC did really, really well, something we talked to head coach Steve Rice of the Tar Heels before the game, they took away Herman and Prasma a good bit of that game. And in fact, it felt like for a majority of that game, UNC was winning every faceoff. They had sustained ozone time and seemed like they were better in every facet of the game. But it was the goals that were allowed that were the difference. Ethan Roberts just played out of his mind for NC State last night. He starts again in goal, but UNC shouldn't change too much, in my opinion.
No, I just think they need to focus more on their D zone. They had a great breakout. They had great neutral zone presence. But at the end of the day, they outshot NC State yesterday. But NC State capitalized more on their shots.
Yeah, they definitely did. And again, it just goes to show you that goaltending sometimes can be a big difference like we saw last night. UNC going to go with Andre Andreev in net for today's game. But a very physical game last night as well. There's going to be a lot of tired bodies out there.
There will be, and the goalie switch may be the difference for UNC.
Yeah, it very well might be. When we come back, though, from First Horizon Coliseum, we're going to break down what we expect to see in today's game. That's going to be a little bit different than what we saw from last night's game. Welcome back to First Horizon Coliseum. Nick Perazzi joined alongside Grace Mata, and a bit of a unique circumstance to this game. Of course, the Greensboro Gargoyles, the new team in the ECHL, owned by some pretty familiar faces, of course, Ryan Whitney, as well as Paul Bizinet. Biz, as you may know him over on TNT, but
Biz Nasty.
Biz Nasty. He's got plenty of nicknames. But something unique about this game, just second weekend of the Gargoyles' existence in the regular season, fans who bought a ticket to the NC State UNC game also are able to join for tonight's Gargoyles game as they play Reading tonight, the Philadelphia Flyers affiliate. Right now, crowd a little bit light. Of course, UNC playing their football game right now, the South's oldest rivalry against Virginia, tied 10 at the half. Good scene for UNC fans against the ranked Cavaliers, but Grace, it's going to be a bit of a unique atmosphere tonight for both of these teams playing hockey.
I definitely believe so. Even when we were setting up our broadcast, this Coliseum is huge.
Yeah.
And I think that, along with this being the second end of this rivalry game, I think that this is an added pressure as well. I feel like just looking from up here, the ice looks so much bigger, but it will be interesting to see how both teams adjust to that.
Yeah, and of course, both schools, ACC schools, in basketball, they do have the upper deck mostly tarped up behind us. They do that for Gargoyles games. They keep it untarped for UNCG graduations, of course, the ACC tournament. But something we talked to head coach Tim Healy last night was that if he felt like it's an honor to be able to coach a game here in First Horizon Coliseum, where he saw legends like Coach K, Roy Williams, Jim Valvano coach the ACC tournament, but a bit of a homecoming for head coach Steve Rice of the UNC Tar Heels. First season of Hurricanes' existence was in this building, and he was a part of that team.
That is just an amazing feat by UNC's coach, and he seemed excited to come back, I do have to say.
He did say it was a bit of a far drive that first season there. But when we come back, we're going to break down what we expect to see in the third and mottos.
I would never show my teeth. Would never smile. And it forces you into this submission of silence because you don't think that anybody's gonna take what you have to say seriously. Invisalign has changed my life forever.
Have you heard of an exciting global company that is dedicated to improving outcomes for people fighting cancer? A company that is transforming life sciences into life-saving cancer drugs. A company that has demonstrated excellence and innovation for 20 years. Have you heard of Huya Bio International? At Huya, fighting cancer is our sport, and we're fighting for you.
I would never forget the picture that I have. I'm the only one that's not smiling. Even though I'm with my close friends, I felt alone. I didn't feel pretty, I didn't feel confident. When I got Invisalign, I built my confidence. It was the best investment that I could do.
Everyone has a community, a neighborhood, school, kids' teams, where you worship, work out, or any other place or group where you choose to belong. Communities can provide support when you need it, and even when you don't know you do. Like when it comes to preventing underage drinking and other substance use, community members can be your eyes and ears when you're not with your kids and alert you to signs of potential problems. Learn more at talktheyhearyou.samhsa.gov.
Tar Heel hockey.
It's about more than just a game.
It's about the symbol on the front of the jersey and the pride behind wearing Carolina blue. It's about upholding the culture of Carolina, which breeds hard work, integrity, and dedication.
It's about carrying the legacy of those who wore it before you.
And laying the foundation for those who will wear it after. Tonight, it's about heart. Tonight, it's about a rivalry. Tonight, it's the fight for Carolina. This is Tar Heel hockey.
Welcome back to First Horizon Coliseum. Nick Frozzi alongside Grace Mata here on ESPN Plus. The Ice Pack have just taken the ice. UNC expected to take the ice in just a couple of seconds, but Grace, we're not going to do Perazzi points tonight.
Nope.
We've got something else in store.
So since I'm taking over Nick's role today as color commentator, I put my own spin on things and did mottos. So tonight it's gargoyle themed for the Greensboro Gargoyles, and the first point is going to be a stone wall. You know, you need to really focus on your defense. I mean, like I said before, all offense starts with defense, and that's where most of the goals and breakout passes come from.
Yeah, and as the Tar Heels take the ice, as you can hear over the PA announcement, you know, they struggled a little bit in terms of helping out Lucas Brown. NC State really struggled in terms of helping out Ethan Roberts how to play out of his mind. So it's helping the guy behind you for both teams tonight.
And building off of that, the next point is protect the house. You know, Gargoyle are standing guard out there, but you want to protect the slot, especially if you're UNC. You want to push NC State outside on their zone entry, limiting the number of shots they can get.
Yeah, and that's something that UNC did a good job offensively, was getting into the slot, getting into those dirty areas last night. But on that NC State power play where Daniel Prasma kind of iced the game with that 3-1 victory, he got into the slot and did it.
He truly did. And then the last point is spread your wings. Like on Eric Dahlin's goal, who's a defenseman actually, he jumped into the play recognizing that he had space to take, and he did a great job finding the back of the net.
Yeah, and Daniel Cobber took a couple of chances as well for the Tar Heels. Had a great breakaway opportunity, couldn't capitalize. Only goal for last night for UNC was that little fluky bounce from Patrick O'Shaughnessy. It beat Roberts. Only goal that beat him there, though. But we've got a full 60 minutes of ice hockey here from the First Horizon Coliseum at the Greensboro Complex. When we come back, puck drop between the North Carolina Tar Heels and the North Carolina State Ice Pack. back to First Horizon Coliseum. Nick Ferrazzi alongside Grace Mata, and both teams just had their starting lineups announced. We've got a great game in step, but we're going to take a step aside real quick for the singing and playing of our national anthem.
ACHA, our players and coaches, as we honor America, as we celebrate our freedoms and those who protect us. If physically able, please rise, kindly remove your headgear, and remain standing for the playing of the Star Spangled Banner.
Pre-game festivities have commenced, and we are set to drop the puck here between the North Carolina Tar Heels and NC State Ice Pack. Do have starting lineups for both teams. First, for the visiting North Carolina State Ice Pack, moving left to right, sporting the white jerseys. They're going to go with that second line, centered by Holden Kaufman, winged by Jack Ammons and Reese Johnson. On defense, it's going to be Eric Darlene and Mason Payne, and a net for the second straight game in a row, it'll be Ethan Roberts. For the North Carolina Tar Heels, it's going to be their second line, centered by Nick Gingras and winged by number 22, Matt Grady, number 7, Adam Zukowski. On defense, number 40, Florian Zajic, and number 20, Kevin Ma is going to be his partner. And in goal for today's game is going to be Ander Andreev, the native from Arlington, Virginia. And Grace, as we get set for this one, we mentioned the physicality before. It's a quick turnaround too, so we could see a lot of tired bodies out there.
I have to say, just looking at them lining up, listening to the anthem, it seemed everyone was cool, calm, and collected. But after last night's game, who knows which way this could go.
Yeah, and we were down near the locker rooms pre-game. Both teams kind of had to share the same common area, but no bad blood between the two. Gingras and Kaufman, the face-off, and we're underway from First Horizon Coliseum. NC State controls off the draw. Payne looks down the right side, but he turns it over. It's Kevin Ma in the corner for the North Carolina Tar Heels.
Quick turnover there.
Quick turnover, but a bad bounce. Here's a chance for UNC, but they come in off sides, and they'll have to touch up. It was a very odd bounce that the puck took as it entered the NC State zone. Kind of cooled their defense, but a good forecheck from Zukowski, but it just bounces the stick over Matt Grady.
Kaufman recovered nicely on that.
Here comes NC State through the neutral zone, now into the O zone. They look it down low. It's Reese Johnson. Circles, was looking for a man cutting off a line change. And it goes all the way down. Labrizzi will collect. Labrizzi missed last night's game for the Ice Pack. He's back out there today for NC State. And he'll captain this push through the neutral zone. Send one on net and an easy pad away from Andrea from center ice as the Tar Heels flip it up and out.
There's been kind of a disruption and some fluid movement between both teams. It just seems like a little back and forth, them trying to gain their footing so far.
Bad turnover there underneath. Finch was looking for Govea and just hopped his stick before he could shoot it. They battle against the boards. Will Smith there laying the hit, as now the Tar Heels have numbers through center ice. It's the captain, O'Shaughnessy, across for a shot, and it goes just wide. Good save there from Roberts. NC State bench lets him know. Now here come the Ice Pack the other way. Aiden Rady going in. Good defensive play there from Javier Camboge. Sends it on net. It gets deflected away. Herman there on the forecheck for the Ice Pack. And UNC controls a turnover, though, at middle of the ice. There's a shot deflected wide. It was Jake Gifford taking it. Herman slammed against the boards there by Mansour. NC State, though, controlling some Ozo time here. It's Prasma trying to get it on Camboj. Up top, Lapani. It slipped through, and Andreev was a little tested there, shovels it away. Behind the net, looking into the slot, it's loose. Prasma trying to get it for NC State. Down goes a UNC body, and we'll play on. No tripping there, and UNC thought they might have gotten one there, as O'Shaughnessy intercepts the puck. He'll send it in. He needs a change. Good hustle down the way from Cobber, but Grace, a great opportunity for the Ice Pack.
Yeah, they had sustained offensive zone time, but took a few difficult angle shots.
Now UNC will try to set up the forecheck. It goes into the corner. You get a look at it up close. It goes to the point. Hilton across. Quick shot, and gloved away by Roberts. He couldn't control it. There's another shot saved. The rebound squirts just a little wide. They battle for it behind the net now. It goes away. Daniel Hu there for UNC as that puck goes into the neutral zone. Gifford's been out there a while too. Now the Tar Heels trying to control at center ice. Puck a little bouncy here on this playing surface today. A couple of odd bounces already, especially on the left end. And what you're seeing at home on your screen. UNC controls through center ice, still dumping it in was Drew Smith.
Great opportunity here for a quick up pass.
NC State tries it. They're going to dump it in and chase. Gutman will get there, but it's going to be played by Paterson. Now NC State controls, but being harassed against the boards. And it'll be turned over into neutral ice. Bit of a, not a lot of room out there for both teams' turns of passing. Good board battles, and again, that physicality playing into effect as a little dump pass for Patterson just goes wide. It'll be played by Ma. UNC trying to get it out, and now they will move it to center ice. Here comes Evan Gutman. He'll send it in deep, controlled by Roberts behind the net. Darlene had it bounce off his stick. Good forecheck from Gutman. He was a pain for NC State last night. And as this one will get into center ice, Zajic will control, and he'll find his D-man partner, Andrew Pye. Zajic dumps and chases. It's going to go all the way around for Pye. He'll control here, tries to get it to the point. Zajic a shot. Good save there from Roberts, and it will leave the zone. And UNC will regroup in their own end. It's Pye. He'll try a dump and chase. On the far side, crashing in is going to be Mansour. That's Matt Grady. So he goes around the boards. Reese Johnson with the puck. 4.5 minutes gone so far, and this will be an icing against the Ice Pack.
UNC was definitely relentless in trying to keep the puck down in NC State's zone. But we saw last night that on the first shift, Ammon's goal really kind of set the tone for NC State. And I feel like UNC, they're striving for that. They're striving for that first goal to open the scoring.
Well, they're actually going to not have this be an icing. They're just going to have it at center ice. So it looks like a bit of a disagreement between the linesmen there. NC State controls off the draw, something they really struggled with all of last night. Especially when Patrick O'Shaughnessy took them for the Tar Heels. They just could not win a face-off if their life depended on it. Battle in the boards. Big hit there from Isa Mansour. That one goes on net, and it gets patted away. UNC flips it high and deep out, and it's going to be played nicely by Grady on the bouncing puck, but NC State controls, but turned over. Camboj shot from the point. It gets blocked from Kaufman. High into the air. Puck still loose dangerously, and a good play from Zukowski to stay with it. It goes deep on the boards. It's Grady there for UNC. Now controlled Zukowski. Up to the point, Camboj. Wrist one, that misses everything. A couple bodies down. It was Kaufman and Zukowski. As Grady tries a shot, easy pad save for Roberts. And we're going to get a penalty here against the Ice Pack. It's going to be interference against Holden Kaufman in the first power play of the game. Belongs to the North Carolina Tar Heels, who were unsuccessful last night, went 0 of 3, including 2 big ones in the third period they couldn't capitalize on.
This will definitely be interesting to see how NC State adjusts to, yesterday they were on the penalty kill for a good chunk, I feel like, of last night's game, but as they line up for the face-off, I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
First line out there for the North Carolina Tar Heels, Patrick O'Shaughnessy, Will Smith, and then Adam Zukowski. Drew Smith, one of the D-men. The other D-man with the puck, Will Hilton. 5-on-4, 2-minute penalty on Kaufman for interference. Across, O'Shaughnessy, wrist one, and a good save from Roberts. O'Shaughnessy's been a pain in the neck the past couple years for NC State, and Roberts makes a tusky stop there.
They wasted no time trying to get a shot off on their penalty, on their power play.
And that's something UNC struggled with their last power play last night, Grace. It wasn't a good-looking power play. They try to shoot it off the draw. It goes wide, and Finch can clear it all the way down the ice, something that the Ice Pack really improved upon on that third penalty kill. The first two for North Carolina, though, were very successful as they'll try to captain a play out of their own end. Will Hilton moves it through center ice. He'll dump it, goes off a skate of an Ice Pack player. Roberts hesitant coming out of the box, lets it go. They scrum for it behind the net. It's controlled by the captain, O'Shaughnessy. Up top to Will Smith, the junior from Boulder, Colorado, looks across, but it misses Will Hilton's stick. Gouveia slaps it around the boards, and NC State can get a line change.
Right now, if you're Carolina, you want to get your players up ice.
Going with a bit of a line change. Just over a minute left on the UNC man advantage, and interference from Holden Kaufman. The reason why they're on it. They're trying to set something up here. It's Kevin Pop. Couldn't handle all of that pass. He gets harassed, and Reese Johnson sends it the length of the ice. It will go on net. And NC State, and a good hustle play there from Jack Ammons. Gonna force a face-off, slaps his stick a couple times. Now he'll shove Jingra, but he beat out Cambodge there, and it forces a face-off in the UNC end. Good hustle play from Ammons, but maybe his emotions getting a little bit hot here.
NC State's penalty kill unit has done a good job at running out the clock. That's really what you want to see, and get your player back out on the ice.
45 seconds left of the North Carolina man advantage. Face-off run by Johnson, shoots it, and it gets stuck in between the pads there of Andreev. Interesting little bounce there, but we'll have another face-off. And how about this little shorthanded attack from the Ice Pack? Johnson wins yet another draw. NC State has flipped the switch from last night, day and night, in the face-off dot for them early here in this game, and a great forecheck on the shorthand. Ammons again with it, but he's going to lose the puck on a double team. Looking for a holding penalty, won't get it. Here come the Tar Heels the other way. Looking across for Jingra. It goes on net, loose in the slot. Ma controls. He'll shoot one, deflected, just wide of the net. In the corner, it's Mason Payne trying to get it out. He'll find Darlene, and Darlene able to clear the length of the ice, and that should kill the rest of this power play. UNC had some decent looks, a good short-handed attack from NC State as Jingra comes on through. He'll bring it through offensive zone. Kaufman's out. They're going to look for him on the stretch pass. Holding Kaufman going on in. His shot, and a good save up and over the glass. Or excuse me, it stays in play there. Test on Andre Andreev. He's up to it. Prasma looking for Herman. It gets turned over. Now Matt Grady comes the other way. Bronson defending him, and a good poke check there. And now it's Herman through center ice.
What a sequence of events right there.
That one shoveled away as Herman lost it. A couple guys go for a change. Big hit from Prasma. He dumps a Tar Heel. But the other way, Daniel Hu across. It's in the slot, and it just missed the stick of Zach Kodish. Big chance for the Heels there. Really getting prime opportunities again on Ethan Roberts, but can't capitalize. Kodish can't handle that pass. This goes beyond the net, and it will be an icing. And some tired bodies for the Tar Heels, so I have to stay out there. But Grace, UNC again with some good opportunities, but Holden Kaufman with a good breakaway. Andreev makes a big save.
I have to say, just looking now, both teams have that momentum. That they just need that extra push to get the puck in the back of the net.
Face-off won by NC State. Lapani sends it behind the net. A little chance from the backside, and it misses everything. That was Jake Gifford trying at it. Goes up to the point, and NC State controls. Thronson finds Gifford. Gifford a shot, and a big save from Andreev. That was a testy one as Prasma got dumped behind the play. Tate Sodden had to go into neutral ice. He got knocked down, so the physicality not letting up. We'll get a good look at that save here from our behind the net cam. Good glove save from Andreev. He's been tested very early so far, but Grace, he's looked very good.
Now he just flashed some leather. That was a great save on his part.
NC State and UNC both with their first lines for forwards. UNC controls a draw. O'Shaughnessy just dominant there again. This will be on net as it hits Roberts, so no icing. O'Shaughnessy attacking. Will Smith there with him against Tate Sodden for NC State. Prasma had it loose in his skates. O'Shaughnessy and Smith control it for a little bit. Now it's Will Smith with full control, though Lapani giving him a couple of whacks. Stolen by Prasma because of it. Here come the Ice Pack through the zone. Pass for Rady, doesn't get there. And now UNC the other way. O'Shaughnessy steps around a defender. On net, his shot deflected wide. It's loose, and Smith just can't find the back of the net. Good opportunity again for North Carolina as NC State moves through the other way. Rady, shot, misses wide to the right. And it will leave the zone. No icing, though, as Sodden didn't touch it in the zone. Now UNC the other way. It's turned over, though, off the stick of Cambodge. But they'll get it through neutral ice and now dump. They need to get some bodies out there to get their line correct. But Grace, again, UNC doing a fantastic job creating chaos in front of Roberts.
Smith almost got lucky trying to crash the net.
UNC, though, going to get the puck back here. Another block shot for NC State. That was a big story last night. The Heels had at least 50 shot attempts. I believe it was 30 and on total. That's going to be offsides. Finch kind of lost where he was there. Maybe all of the lights playing a factor there. And a faceoff will come all the way down for some fresh legs for the Heels. Here's a good look at that last opportunity. See Roberts go down in that butterfly position, able to pat it away, but just crashing the net right now if you're the Tar Heels, and they're doing a great job of it. They win another draw. Shot off the draw, gets blocked. Up into the corner. Now looking to the middle, but NC State intercepts. And it gets pushed in behind the net. This is Mason Payne for the Ice Pack. Lost it. Net did not come off his Mornings, and they score!
Roberts got kind of tripped up with Payne falling and kind of taking a stick down with him. And that just gave Hilton the advantage while he was off his game.
Will Hilton next his 4th goal of the season. And UNC finally finds success against Ethan Roberts and take a 1-0 lead with 9.5 to go in the period. Just a beautiful goal off of some bouncing pucks in front of Roberts. And Grace, that's exactly what we talked about. The chaos in front of Roberts. It happened there, and UNC finally able to capitalize.
And if you're a forward, you want to make the goalie move. And especially if you don't have the puck, you still want to find your way to the net. Whether it's a rebound, whether it's screening the goalie, it's just more beneficial to be around the net.
UNC controls off the draw. They're the ones to strike first in tonight's game. They trailed pretty much the entirety of last game. It never was tied either. Closest they were was 1-0, then 2-1. As they try to get a good forecheck going here, NC State has not been able to solve it, and they turn it over in the neutral zone. NC State, though, able to get the puck back, but again, that forecheck for UNC going right at it, captained by Nick Gingras. As it gets up into the corner, NC State looking for a stretch pass. Deflected at center ice, hustling down there for the Ice Pack's Raleigh. He gets crunched against the boards from Florian Zajic. Behind the net, Patterson trying to win the puck for NC State. He does. They swing it across. Here's Nick Labrizzi. Labrizzi, oh, what a nice deke. He'll try to shoot one, and a good save from Andreev. A flashy little move from Labrizzi to get our first look at some extracurriculars going on beyond the play.
Another great glove save by Andreev.
And still some pushing and shoving going on. Trying to see who exactly it was for both teams. Looks like Michael Rinaldi, the freshman from Massachusetts for NC State. Zakowski in it again for UNC. And things are getting testy. They weren't really too testy last night until that third period. So you get a good look of that last save. Again, Labrizzi just kind of walks his defender down, saw a lane, and Andreev flashes the glove. Patterson for NC State will take the draw against Jack Sangster. And it's controlled by NC State. Rinaldi right in front. Patterson trying to go through his legs. Big save, Andreev. Oh my goodness, what a save.
You can hear all of UNC's fans cheering right now after that huge save by Andreev.
My goodness, it was right there for, I believe, Brandon Raleigh for NC State. Got to get a great look at it here. Bouncing puck in front. And it was left for Andreev, and right into his glove. As the draw goes, controlled by UNC. NC State, though, keeping that fourth line out there. They've done a great job of this forecheck and applying pressure against the Heels. But it looks like North Carolina gets it out of their own zone. NC State controls at center ice. And they look to break out. Good steal, though, at center ice. It's Andrew Pye. Brings it in. Shot and right into the chest of Roberts. Got knocked into his teammate there, Andrew Thronson. The faceoff coming up in the UNC O zone. And the goal scorer, Will Hilton, will retake the ice for the Tar Heels as NC State's going to go with a wholesale line change.
You know, Nick, there has been a lot said between players after each shot in front of their goalies. So I wonder if a little animosity has trickled over from last night's game. You know, unfinished business for both.
And not a lot of sleep for both either. UNC, the home team, though, they get the change last. They bring that first line out there, and another face-off win by O'Shaughnessy. A shot doesn't make it through. Rebound almost did from O'Shaughnessy. Oh, another good couple opportunities for North Carolina. That one saved made. Tried to deflect it down. Cobber in front. Could not get it through, though. NC State, though, just cannot get out of their own zone. Around the boards. It goes up top. Hilton keeps it in, the goal scorer. At the point, wrist one, deflected up and over. Another weird bounce, but Roberts loses his stick on it. NC State, though, gets it to neutral ice. They lose it. Roberts does have his stick back. Cobber across. Through the legs of Smith and controlled from Ammons. He'll send it down. This does not have enough for icing. And now NC State tries to get a forecheck going.
Hilton and Smith have done a phenomenal job at holding the blue line.
And it felt like Will Smith didn't have his best game last night. Didn't really say a lot of his name. Someone that had that shootout winner last season against the Ice Pack. But today, he has looked like one of the best players out there. And you mentioned Will Hilton, the goal scorer, done a great job of controlling the blue line as well. NC State will have to retreat. Both teams going for some big forward line changes now. Behind the net and breaking it out from the Ice Pack. It was Herman to Lapani, now Prasma double teamed up, can't find it. And now Florian Zajic will get it out into the neutral zone. Just under 7 minutes to play here at First Horizon Coliseum. Some more fans trickling in. Again, the Gargoyles game later tonight at 7. As that one in front, it's loose in the slot. Now Mason Payne a shot at it, misses everything. Into the corner, Prasma, big hit there on Kevin Ma. But the Tar Heels get it out. And now NC State at center ice with it. It's Jake Gifford for the Ice Pack. Across for Prasma, off his stick. Good defensive play from Ma. Prasma slides into Andreev, and now we got action. Ma on top of Prasma. Now, it looked like Prasma thought he could step through. Andreev came out, and that's why the collision occurred.
Nick, I have to say, Prasma is one of those players who plays until the whistle. After he shoots, he goes straight to the net, trying to maybe poke at the goalie's glove a little bit to see if a puck will come loose. But you need players like that. That's how you win, and that's how you get those dirty goals.
We saw Ammons and Reese Johnson do that for the Ice Pack last night, and that big brawl that had Johnson go to the box. UNC player and another NC State player as well. And as another Tar Heel face-off draw goes to them. NC State, though, dumps it back in, and they will chase. Andrew Pye in the corner. Swings it across. Trouble controlling it. That was Isa Mansour. This one goes all the way down. Roberts out of the net. Does not have enough for icing. So he'll control it. Ice Pack able to break through that first line of the forecheck from the Tar Heels. But they turn it over. It's Pye across for Mansour. He'll do a long dump. This is going to be an icing call, though. And a couple tired legs for UNC. NC State's going to roll with the new line. It's going to be that third line of Finch, Govea, and Rady.
On that play, Darlene had the puck. He gained a little bit of speed and gave it to Gifford, who was kind of standing a little bit flat-footed. And we've seen Darlene, when he has speed and he has open ice, he's unstoppable.
Yeah, had that goal last night, just crashing in hard. The second goal of the game for NC State. UNC able to break out off the draw, though, despite the icing call. They will dump it in behind the net. Another dump and chase for the Heels. Jingra there. Now he gets help from Adam Zakowski. As they shove against the boards, they look at it up close. Up the wall, Rady pokes at it, got it through. Pye's going to have to send it in as UNC has to check up to not be offsides. They'll go with a good line change quickly. NC State catches him on it, though. Austin Finch brings it in, protecting the puck, but he lost it. A good defensive play from Will Hilton again. He said his name everywhere as that one bounces off the linesman. Fortunate bounce for a moment for the Heels, but Govea controls it. In the middle, dangerously. We have a couple bodies tangled up. Jack Sangster was there. Behind the net. Roberts pushed it up against the boards. UNC, though, keeps it in. This one flipped, still in the D zone. Rady finds Finch. He touches it at center ice, no icing. It's on net anyways, and Patterson was lurking, so Andreev decides to hold it with 4:40 to go.
NC State has had a little bit of trouble trying to connect their passes from their D zone into the neutral zone. They're trying to get ahead, but I feel at the same time they need to focus on just clean, crisp passes.
Well, I was looking at their bench today. They were not clapping their hands, so they are not happy, and I think they know it, though. Goes through to neutral ice. Good job by Daniel Hu to dump it in, as, again, the North Carolina forecheck commences, and they're going to win the puck here. Oh, but Hu fanned on it, looking to our centering pass. Now the ice back the other way. It's Patterson. Through the middle now. Was looking for a teammate, but it just never got there. A little behind on that pass. It was intended for Michael Rinaldi. This one's dumped in from Tate Sodden into the corner. Patterson across, and a big save from Andreev. The net may have come off its moorings. They're going to play on, but Andreev stretches out again, and now they're saying it is off its moorings. And we will stop for a face-up, but Grace, another big save for Andreev. That's about 3 or 4 he's had in this game.
So far, I mean, we've been saying his name kind of like the most right now, but he has truly stood on his head, and it's only the first period.
And a big save there on Jack Ammons, just lurking again. He has had a phenomenal last 24 hours for the Ice Pack. Couldn't net home a second goal, though, as NC State gets the draw. It's Darlene from the point, doesn't make it through. Well, it did make it through after it was deflected and partially blocked, but NC State gets it back behind the net. It's Gifford, shoves down his defender. Wraparound chance, Darlene couldn't. Rebound, and it just shoots high. Oh, NC State causing chaos in front of Andreev. It's kept in from Reese Johnson. Johnson across, looking for Payne, but it's turned over as him and Sangston take a tumble. NC State controls, though. This one goes over the glass, and a souvenir for a North Carolina fan.
A lot of back and forth going on. The refs are gonna be a little busy tonight, or today, I should say.
Well, they're having a conversation with Drew Smith. There's a broken stick. That might have been the conversation. Smith says, I need some new lumber, or he's actually just going to come off the ice there.
That's where the lumber is, on their bench.
Well, they need a puck. That's what it is. The referees needed a new puck since that one went out of play and over the glass. There's no netting there in that area, so it shoots over. You know, it's going to be a fan souvenir. It's not like Invisalign Arena or the Iceplex. O'Shaughnessy to take the draw for UNC, and when you hear that, you know UNC is going to win it in control, although they're having trouble here as the stick goes flying for NC State. UNC with a good dump. Nice little pass there from Darlene to Payne to avoid the onslaught from Will Smith. It goes in behind the boards. Austin Finch will dump it. O'Shaughnessy there. But NC State able to get it back. And it shoots behind Mason Payne. Got Labrizzi there, but they got to regroup now. Aiden Rady having trouble with it. O'Shaughnessy steps through, pokes it all the way down behind the net, and it'll be controlled by Labrizzi. NC State will try to set up a play here. Labrizzi, the captain. Stretch pass, Finch. Weak little dump, and Ma controls it. Oh, nice play by Finch with the hand eye, but he couldn't control it off his deflection. Smith finds Cobber. He'll dump it in, tried to step through, he couldn't. Thronson sends it around the boards. Here's Joey Govea. Across the ice, Aiden Rady will bring it through for the Ice Pack. Rady holds, lost an edge. Still has the puck though, but now Will Smith does for the Heels. And it's North Carolina sending it in through the neutral zone and all the way down. They need it to line change. That first line, that hits a linesman. Chance for the Heels, a shot, and they score! Daniel Cobber makes it 2-0. And an unfortunate bounce off the linesman costs NC State, but the bounces are going the Tar Heels' way today, unlike last night.
If you just look on the ice right now, a bunch of NC State players have their heads down. It's only the first period. You cannot let this, take control of your morale. There's still a lot of hockey left, but it'll be interesting to see how they adjust to this in the second period.
And looking at that replay, it seemed like Roberts kind of got a little stuck in his position there, and And Labrizi going to the bench, broke his stick, was not happy. It hit the linesman. They're in play, and that can happen. As NC State with a lot of urgency here with that first line, though. Kyler's Sun shot gets blocked. So we have under 2 to play now. And it gets dumped in. NC State will try a forecheck. UNC will try to break it out. It's Cambodge for the Tar Heels. Being pressured on the puck. Good pressure here from Jake Gifford. It goes in deep. Grady fights for it, but it'll be controlled from Manser. He'll send it around the boards and then the neutral ice. Now the ice back with it. Prasma was looking for Herman. He couldn't find it. This one goes back, and NC State will control with about 67 seconds left in the period. Oh, dangerous pass there on the breakout. It was deflected by Grady. Instead, NC State the other way. Patterson fans on a shot. Maybe he was looking for Prasma to cut. It goes to center ice, and NC State turns it over. Dumped in deep, tipped by the stick of Matt Grady. He gets upended from Kyler Sun. Sun, weak little pass there, deflected there from Cam Glonick. And now it's controlled from UNC Nick Gingras.
We have the Hilton and Smith line out on D.
And they've played great defense as well as, of course, offense with the goal. Last half minute here, UNC looking to control it with the offensive zone. Great little play and hustling in Drew Smith. He's showing his wings. It's behind the net. Oh, good play, though, from Brandon Raleigh. He controls that area, read that play like a book, but UNC gets it back at center ice. Dumped in now from Cam Glonick. Roberts controls behind the net. And now it will be Payne. Up for 80, down to 6 seconds to go. Maybe a chance here for the Heels. They're just going to dump it. They're satisfied with a 2-0 lead at the end of the first period. 2 goals, one from Will Hilton, one from Daniel Cobber. There's some words being exchanged between Kevin Ma and Jake Lapani, but Grace, North Carolina didn't really change a lot of that game plan, and it's paid off. They're getting the bounces today.
I mean, it's really been day and night. Last night, you know, they were present. They outshot NC State, but NC State got lucky with the quality of their shots, I'd have to say.
No, they did, and you know, in UNC's first goal last night, that O'Shaughnessy bouncer from center ice, you call that a bit of a lucky goal, but they didn't get a lot of bounces outside of that. Tonight, though, big bounce off the linesman. They also got a couple of great bounces in front and some big saves from Andron Dreve. I do want to note, though, something interesting. You know, the 2 locker rooms are right next to each other, so North Carolina being the home team, they get to leave first, and NC State has to wait for everybody on that bench to clear to go in. But when we come back, first intermission report, me and Grace will have it, and we'll recap everything we saw here in the first period from Greensboro. 2-0 North Carolina on top of the ice pack. First intermission here at First Horizon Coliseum at the Greensboro Complex. 2-0 North Carolina Tar Heels on top of the NC State Ice Pack. Nick Brazzi alongside Grace Mata. And Grace, UNC, we mentioned it in the pregame, they shouldn't change a lot of what they did last night. They didn't, and it's paid off.
It's truly been a day and night kind of situation here. UNC did not score in the first period last night, but they've already have 2 on the board so far.
Yeah, they do. The first one, Will Hilton, a name that the two of us keep talking a lot about. He's been a big presence defensively, but he walks in on that first goal, and it was a beautiful snipe from him as he crashed it. He showed his wings, if you will, like you said in the pregame.
Hilton and Smith have been a stone wall so far, and for NC State, they've been kind of a little hesitant to get the puck past them.
Yeah, you know, it's just about a 40-minute longer bus ride for NC State. They were the home team last night, so after the game, they go home. UNC had to come back to Chapel Hill, but they were able to get a shorter bus ride. It seems like NC State, though, didn't get a lot of sleep last night, maybe. I personally didn't get a lot of sleep last night to be here before everybody else. Of course, we left after everybody else last night, but maybe some tired legs for the Ice Pack. They need a little bit of energy, maybe a jolt, if you will.
Yes, I have to say, they've been trying to match UNC's pace a little bit, but have failed to do so, especially within the last couple minutes of the period. But hopefully, I know Prasma has been biting at the bit to get one. Like I said on the broadcast, he's a relentless player. He plays straight up to the whistle, and sometimes, he tries to poke out the little rebound under the goalie's glove.
Yeah, and, he's trying his hardest to get through, but that North Carolina forecheck, NC State can't solve it. A bounce off a linesman leading to a goal. You may not like to see it, but it was generated because of that North Carolina forecheck. Daniel Cobber next to second one for the North Carolina Tar Heels.
And in the offensive zone, I feel like NC State right now is trying to pass through too many people. They have to keep it simple, maybe take an extra step outside to find someone, pass it around, They've been trying to pass it through many feet and bodies so far, and maybe if they adjust that, maybe that's the key to success in the second period.
Well, something that plagued the Ice Pack last year were their long stretch passes. It did not match up well against the Tar Heels in any of the games last year. So far, Grace, it hasn't matched up well for them tonight. When we come back from this break, we're going to talk about what we expect to see in the second period, any adjustments that each team needs to make.
Wahoo! What's he so excited about?
He just heard about Gladwell Orthodontics Invisalign Night.
Woo! Yeah! Woo! Invisalign what?
Invisalign Night, the only night where new customers can save over $1,100 on Invisalign treatment.
And great prizes!
And they're giving away some pretty sweet prizes like free Thanksgiving dinner.
That sounds awesome!
Come join us November 5th and 6th for the Gladwell Orthodontics Invisalign Night at our Raleigh and Wake Forest locations.
Gladwell!
The orthodontist that mouths are talking about.
Have you heard of an exciting global company that is dedicated to improving outcomes for people fighting cancer? A company that is transforming life sciences into life-saving cancer drugs. A company that has demonstrated excellence and innovation for 20 years. Have you heard of Huya Bio International? At Huya, fighting cancer is our sport, and we're fighting for you.
For each life moment, your kids could get free or low-cost health coverage from Medicaid or CHIP. Kids up to age 19 are covered for checkups, vaccines, dentist visits, hospital care, and more. Your kids may be eligible now, even if you've applied before. And if they already have Medicaid or CHIP, remember to renew every year. Get started now at insurekidsnow.gov. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
When you look at me, you might see
a person with Parkinson's disease.
But if you look closer,
you'll see
a warrior mom,
an endurance athlete,
someone with a lot of fight.
Every 9 minutes, someone is diagnosed with Parkinson's disease.
And every one of them can turn to the American Parkinson's Disease Association.
Look closer.
My spirit
is unshakable.
Visit apdaparkinson.org to learn more and show your support today.
Don't trust just anyone with your orthodontic care. Gladwell Orthodontics offers flexible financing, top-notch care, and a friendly office environment at our conveniently placed locations. Gladwell Orthodontics. Book your complimentary new patient exam today.
Another teenager, victim to fake pills. That smells like big crime that needs to be stopped. Before buying pills online, think about this. Should buying prescription pills be this easy? Did you know that fake prescription pills may contain fentanyl, and an amount small enough to fit on the tip of a pencil can be lethal? Before buying pills from social media, think again. Learn more at mcgruffpsa.org and go for real.
Experience matters. Visit Gladwell Orthodontics for your complimentary new patient exam. North Carolina's #1 Invisalign provider. Let us show you why you are a candidate for Invisalign.
Welcome back to First Horizon Coliseum on ESPN+. The North Carolina Tar Heels lead the NC State Icepack 2-0 in the first intermission. And Grace, I want to talk really about what NC State needs to adjust right now, because we were talking off air a little bit. It feels like we're nitpicking a lot at NC State, but there generally really isn't a lot that North Carolina needs to adjust right now.
You had the Ammons line last night really set the tone. Right now, they've kind of been, I don't want to say still asleep. You know, we're used to some night games around here, but if you're NC State right now, you really just want to set the tone for this period at least. You're trailing by 2 goals. I mean, it's an easy, quick fix to gain some more offense, but at the end of the day, you really just need to play every shift thoroughly. Play it to the end. Right when you get to the bench is kind of what you need to do.
Yeah, and you mentioned, maybe some sleepy players. I don't want to call them sleepy, but maybe some tired players. And you look at each bench. NC State's bench doesn't have a lot of energy. And North Carolina, they're not a team that feeds off a lot of energy, but they always bring it. They play very consistent, especially against the Ice Pack. So for NC State, I think they need just a little bit of jolt of an energy. Maybe a big hit they can get around, a big save from Roberts maybe as well. I think that will help them. But if there's anything North Carolina needs to adjust, Grace, maybe breaking out of their own D zone is something they can fix on. But again, not really much that they need to do right now, up 2-0.
Yeah, defensively, I feel like in the defensive zone, just looking, they're kind of like lackadaisical. Like, they have not really focused on clean breakout passes, which is back to basics. I feel like they're more focusing on trying to gain the next zone. They're more focused on stretch passes, but you have to start kind of further back so far.
Yeah, but that forecheck for them has been really, really good today. And I think if you're anything for North Carolina, just keep that pedal to the metal. When we come back, we'll have our final breakdowns and thoughts headed into the second period. Back here at First Horizon Coliseum, Nick Perazzi alongside Grace Mata. And Grace, just want to quickly touch on what's one thing you expect NC State to do differently in the second period? What's one thing UNC is going to do differently in the second period?
I feel like for UNC, they have kind of dominated this game in the first period. So I don't know if we're really going to see a lot of adjustments, but maybe a little more offensive zone pressure, maybe some defense jumping into play a little more for them. And for NC State, I'm expecting to see hopefully the wheels turning a little bit more. Maybe coach had some choice words for them in the locker room, but we'll have to wait and see.
Well, another 20 minutes of hockey is on its way. It's 2-0 Tar Heels as we enter the second period from Greensboro.
I would never show my teeth. Never. Would never smile. And it forces you into this submission of silence because you don't think that anybody's going to take what you have to say seriously. Invisalign has changed my life forever.
Have you heard of an exciting global company that is dedicated to improving outcomes for people fighting cancer? A company that is transforming life sciences into life-saving cancer drugs. A company that has demonstrated excellence and innovation for 20 years. Have you heard of Huya Bio International? At Huya, fighting cancer is our sport, and we're fighting for you.
I would never forget the picture that I have. I'm the only one that's not smiling. Even though I'm with my close friends, I felt alone. I didn't feel pretty, I didn't feel confident. When I got Invisalign, I built my confidence. It was the best investment that I could do.
Everyone has a community, a neighborhood, school, kids' teams, where you worship, work out, or any other place or group where you choose to belong. Communities can provide support when you need it, and even when you don't know you do. Like when it comes to preventing underage drinking and other substance use, community members can be your eyes and ears when you're not with your kids and alert you to signs of potential problems. Learn more at talktheyhearyou.samhsa.gov.
Tar Heel hockey.
It's about more than just a game.
It's about the symbol on the front of the jersey and the pride behind wearing Carolina blue. It's about upholding the culture of Carolina, which breeds hard work, integrity, and dedication.
It's about carrying the legacy of those who wore it before you.
And laying the foundation for those who will wear it after. Tonight, it's about heart. Tonight, it's about a rivalry. Tonight, it's the fight for Carolina. This is Tar Heel hockey.
Welcome back to Greensboro. Nick Perazzi alongside Grace Mata. I also want to welcome back everybody that's coming back from the ACC network. A tie game, 10-10 in that football game between the Heels and the Cavaliers over in Chapel Hill. But Grace, we got 20 minutes of the second period left here in Greensboro as North Carolina has a 2-goal advantage. We talked about maybe some energy for NC State. I got to wonder what was said in that locker room, but probably wasn't the best.
No, sir, Nick. But I have to say the music in here is loud, so I wonder if that will kind of wake them up a little bit.
Yeah, we can't lie, we were singing a little bit there in between the intermission. Kaufman and Gingras on the draw. Gingras wins it, and UNC is going to set up that forecheck immediately here in the second period. And so far, not too much success as it's up to Kevin Ma, who's navigating through center ice. He'll actually bring it in the O-zone, step around Mason Payne, but Eric Darlene there, but Ma there to get the puck back. UNC controls as they go behind the net. Couple sticks tied up for North Carolina. It's Gingras, but that gets snowed out, and Kevin Ma with it in the D end. Off of Darlene, he's playing very far up for a D-man. Big hit against the UNC bench now. NC State's going to try the forecheck here. Andreev, pressure behind from Ammons. Ref got in the way there again. Reese Johnson kind of tripped over him as Ammons has it behind the net. Good D from North Carolina. There are a lot of sticks whacking at each other there as UNC controls. It's the man Kevin Ma. Hill finds Zakowski. Zakowski's across and looking across in front. Rolls off its moorings again. They need to stop here, and now they will. It was a good opportunity for Matt Grady, Jingra, and Adam Zakowski. Mansour in there as well for North Carolina, but we'll have a stoppage just 70 seconds into the first period.
I have to say, looking at UNC's defensive zone strategy, they're keeping 2 men on the puck so far, and NC State has had trouble kind of adjusting, even in the first period, to that.
They create a lot of pressure when they do that. UNC is going to bring that first line out there. Cobber took the draw. I'm trying to get a one-timer for O'Shaughnessy, but when you put 2 on the puck, sometimes it creates chaos. Again, the linesman gets in the way. That a man goes down for UNC. No call on the tripping. It was a Combage down. As UNC State can't break it out. O'Shaughnessy just Mansour just whips one into the corner. It's loose in front. Cobber and Smith, bad spacing for UNC, and they can't capitalize on what looked like the good opportunity. That one goes into the NC State bench off the stick from Cambage. And we have a stoppage with 18:16 left in the period.
I have to say, this is a gritty lineup for NC State with Govea, Finch, and Aiden Reedy.
And they're going to get a new D pair. Tate Sodden out there with Jake Lapani. So the third line forward, third line defense for NC State. UNC going to roll with that first line forward group. Nearly off sides there. Govea almost brought it across the blue line, did not. This one's going to find its way through. Rady will just wind one up. Save, rebound attempt. Oh, and Finch missed the net. Oh, I don't think Andreev got a piece of that. Finch had an open net, and it just went wide. UNC the other way. Cobber dumps it in. Rady there for the ice pack. And now it's Sodden behind the net. UNC's forecheck going at it again, this time with their first line. Up the center ice. Mansour dumps it right back in. Sodden whistles it out. This is on net. Dangerous bounce off of Andreev. Had a lot of mustard on it. And now NC State tries a forecheck, but they need a couple of fresh legs out there, and so they go for a change. Here's Will Smith looking for Cobber, and that one he's knocked away from Sodden. Didn't like what he saw there. Here's Drew Smith. Cross for Sangster. Sangster knocks it up. No one knows where the puck is except Jake Lapani, who has it. Good little pressure there from Hu. And now UNC controls again. Hu across, Sangster down low. It's Zach Kodish. And knocked away from the captain of the Ice Pack, Herman. Here comes NC State now. Sodden gonna find Gifford. He might have Herman on the far side, but he has to stop. Good pressure there from Hilton. Up top, Hilton deflects it, and that will leave the zone. Or excuse me, they give credit there to Zach Kodish with the pressure. First line for NC State out there. They're trying to create some pressure. It's Mason Payne, the defensive man, across. Gifford had it tied up in his skates, and it's kicked away from the heels. And again, NC State's got to regroup. As we cross over 3.5 down in this second period. Oh, Darlene lost it off his stick, couldn't control it. He wins it back, though. Daniel Hu had a good opportunity, but he couldn't keep it on his stick. But UNC's forecheck gets in the puck right back in the O-zone. Far end, Owen Kenny.
UNC has done a great job at reading the ice, anticipating where the ice pack is going to be.
This is not going to be icing. Prasma wins it, tries to swat one on goal, but a good defensive play from Drew Smith. Prasma has it behind the net, tried to make a deke by himself, didn't go with the pass, and turned it over because of it. Trying to win the puck back there. Now it's Owen Kenny. One-on-one with Payne. He drops it back. And he was looking for Gutman, but he couldn't find him. Stretch pass. A little too far for Prasma. Or he tried to stretch for it. And now North Carolina controls. Evan Gutman tried to find Kenny, couldn't. This puck's loose. It's going to be a race between Pye and Prasma. Pye wins it. Prasma climbs over the boards for a change, but it's going to be an icing against North Carolina. And so NC State just went with the change. They're going to bring out
their full new line, and UNC will have to hold with some pretty tired bodies out there. Kenny's had a pretty long shift. Gutman as well. Pye's been out there a decent bit too, so prime opportunity for the Ice Pack to take advantage here, Grace.
I have to say, looking at Finch's kind of shot attempt, I hope that doesn't keep him up at night.
Face-off controlled by UNC. It wasn't the best looking control, but they do it. It was Will Hilton there for the Heels, but NC State wins it back. Patterson was looking to the middle. It's loose. Rinaldi's shot, and it goes high and wide. NC State, though, gets the puck back thanks to Brandon Raleigh. Up top, Labrizzi. Little wrist one. It's deflected off the North Carolina stick into the netting, and now Hilton and Patterson shove each other twice. And we'll have a face-off draw and a much-needed wholesale line change for the North Carolina Tar Heels.
Michael Rinaldi's shot just then, it was kind of hard for him to settle the puck, but he ended up getting it off, but not really near the net, but...
he couldn't pass up on it there. Yeah. He was in the slot, had a good opportunity, and you're right, though, Grace, just couldn't get it settled down. We've seen it a couple times today for NC State specifically. They win the draw. Rinaldi, quick shot, and it got blocked on its way there. Kevin Ma will dump it out into neutral ice, where waiting for it for NC State is Andrew Thronson, the junior from Apex. And center ice, poked away from Patterson. Ma is there. Rinaldi trying to win it back. Good little stick battle. NC State keeps it in as it bounces off Thronson. And now Raleigh with it for NC State. And he didn't enter the zone. Raleigh will just dump, and two new fresh legs for NC State out there. UNC going to try them on the change, but in an errant pass, it went right to Labrizzi. Now the far end, NC State trying to set something up. It was Kaufman looking for Raleigh, but it didn't get through. Kaufman finds Reese Johnson a shot. Good save from Andreev. That was a prime opportunity in front for the Ice Pack. It's still loose. Kaufman there against Florian Zajic. They battle for it against the boards. Still a good battle. Now won by NC State. Son, a shot deflected and blocked from Jingra in front in the slot. Not a lot of traffic there for NC State body-wise. Has a chance in front. Good little poke check from Andreev. Looked like Pyotr Kochetkov there using his stick. Now it's NC State. Son had it in his skates, sends it in. It's kicked away from the Heels. Kevin Ma. Now North Carolina can break out. Jingra finds Zakowski. They battle for it right at the blue line. It's going to be offsides if UNC touches it, so Zakowski says, I'll hop off for a line change. Big hit there on Lapani. NC State wants a tripping penalty. They won't get one. It looked clean from up here. Chance, though, for the Ice Pack the other way. Good opportunity, and they missed the net. Oh, my goodness. Andreev had a good factor of it. Kaufman just couldn't get the puck in on target. And we stay at a 2-0 game. Now a chance for the Heels the other way. Wraparound opportunity, and O'Shaughnessy just hit it too hard on the first try to collect the puck. In the neutral ice, fascinating last 45 seconds here from Greensboro. Late cover there from Roberts with Clobber lurking. We have a much-needed whistle for both teams.
What a sequence of events, just like you said. That hit on Lampani, oh, that looked like it hurt.
Yeah, I kind of got taken out there a little bit. Looked like it was more of a hip check. That's why he kind of flew like that. NC State wanted to call in and get one, but pace of play is definitely picking up. Herman's at center ice asking for an explanation. Here's a look at that hit. Well, Grace, NC State might have a little bit of a point there. It looked like Zakowski played the puck a little bit there, but maybe their legs got tied up there. And we saw a tripping penalty like that last night. That gave the Ice Pack a power play.
That hit might be the difference. Might light the Ice Pack up a little bit.
Yeah, and they need to get lit up here energy-wise. Down the boards it goes. UNC tried to collect it. Went off of Gouveia. Didn't know where it was, and now UNC controls. Cobber finds Mansour. Tried to bring it through. It's stuck at the blue line. Gouveia says, I'll go to the other side, and here come the Ice Pack the other way. 2-on-3 in favor of the Heels, though. And Rady just lost an edge there. Good little defensive play by Kumbaj. Into the corner. And it's Eric Darlene for NC State. 12 minutes to go here in the third period. Slow pass across, but it finds Finch. He drops it off Gouveia. Gouveia shoots one. It goes high over Andreev in the net. Goes out of the zone. NC State has to catch up as Mason Payne will try to dump. That's going to be offsides. Darlene, Gouveia was in deep. Took a while to get him. Now we got action behind the play. Mansour holding Darlene around the neck. Mason Payne gets in there a little bit, but again, that's kind of what we've seen so far from both teams, Grace. You get to look at it up close. You know, there's an instant push and then a grab, and then everybody says, okay, whatever.
It's truly been a game of back and forth, not only in both of their zones, but I have to say, like, physicality-wise. You saw that we just talked about that big hit on Lampani, but both teams kind of need to focus on either getting one more on the board or to get two if you're NC State.
Well, one thing to note, NC State has the shot advantage on goal, 15-12 compared to UNC, and that's a lot of that coming this period, as this will force a face-off in the NC State O-zone with that first line out there for the Ice Pack. But again, Grace, you know, you're talking about kind of back and forth. NC State starting to tilt the ice in their favor, something we really didn't see at all last night. The draw will be between Sangster and Zach Herman. Herman wins it off the draw. Prasma shot. Oh, Andreev never saw it. Well, we got a whistle now. Now we got some action between Sangster and Herman. Action between Herman and Smith. It was Gifford. Apologies, it was Gifford and Smith. Herman and Sangster. I was correct. So it looked like someone had a false start there off the draw. Well, actually, the net was off its moorings again. That's been a problem here so far.
It has been. I have to say kudos to Herman for keeping a level head as a captain, truly like leading your team and not getting involved in the pettiness. That's what you really need in a captain.
Yeah, and a lot of times captains can get a lot. As Herman's down right now. And there's a lot of action. Herman and Sangster going, and Sangster's going to get a penalty there. They might send them both. Herman saying, what did I do? Sangster did more at the end. Now we got more action as Blindsman goes down. Prasma shoving with Drew Smith. We know for sure Sangster's to the box. The question is, will they also send Herman? 11:28 to go. Yeah, they are going to send Herman there. It's all started from after the false start and the net off its moorings. And it's going to be interference, I believe, on both players. Let's take a look. Herman goes down here. It looks like he was holding the stick of Sangster maybe. And then right there, yeah, Sangster, ooh. That was a little aggressive there. A couple fans on the NC State bench not happy. UNC happy though. It's going to be 4-on-4 hockey. Oh, 2 minutes of that. No captain for NC State. No freshman forward for the Tar Heels.
And the key to 4-on-4 hockey is it's man-to-man. So you kind of have to make sure you're playing defensively, even in the offensive zone.
And I think NC State's got that advantage right now because of the matchup, since they've got Prasma and Gifford out there, two very quick players. But you already know O'Shaughnessy and Will Smith will come out there for NC State, or excuse me, for UNC the second they can.
And for NC State, they kind of split it evenly. So they have 2 forwards out and 2 defensemen, which is kind of the key to it. You have 2 offensive players kind of getting in those nitty-gritty, dirty areas, trying to take the puck out, kind of maybe send it into the slot for a shot. But we will definitely have to see, because we didn't have 4-on-4 play last night.
No, we didn't. There's still some explaining going on. Looking at Coach Tim Healy of the Ice Pack, get an explanation of Florian Zajic for UNC, getting one from the refs. Nick Labrizi, an alternate captain, and now some more confusion here. The refs just making sure they're on the same page. It's going to be Prasma against Matt Grady in the face-off dot. Prasma goes in deep. They win it. It's loose in front. What a poke check, though, from Zakowski. Here's Thronson, though, winds it up. A shot went off the glove of Andreev and goes wide, and UNC will control. 4-on-4 hockey, the 2 penalties against Herman and Jack Sangster as UNC tries to collect behind the net. Big hit by Gifford. It's still loose in front. Dangerously looking opportunity. It's going to be holding against Herman. Gifford throwing the body around.
NC State penalty on number 8, Herman, 2 minutes for holding.
Here's UNC in the O-zone. Quick shot and a save from Andreev. Roberts. A 5-minute major. Wow. Did not see that at all from Sangster. So he's not going to be able to return. Chance for NC State. Prasma misses it wide. Did not see that at all. So it's going to be 2 minutes of 4-on-4. Then Herman will come out, be 5-on-4 for 3 minutes. Big hit against Prasma against the boards. As UNC controls the puck into the neutral zone. Zakowski shot blocked from Saden's stick, but he's going to win the puck back. They go against the boards. Labrizzi gives a little hit to Zakowski. They talk. Zakowski kind of face-washed Labrizzi there a little bit. Here's Prasma, though. Dangerous in the slot. Deking, dangling. Oh, and a good save from Andreev. And now an opportunity. Here's O'Shaughnessy. Lapani back for NC State. O'Shaughnessy shoots, and it goes high. Might have caught Lapani there a little bit.
This has kind of been a game of shooting at the glass.
Yeah. 20 seconds left and counting of 4-on-4 before an NC State 5-on-4 advantage. Behind the net, Patterson. Goes all the way to the point, sends it down low, wide open, and missing the net was Lapani. Tried a sneaky little backhand there. As NC State tries to keep the zone, they will not, though. Herman's out of the box. 3 minutes of 5-on-4 for the Ice Pack. Now action between Smith and Lapani. I think they got tangled up. Great opportunity, though. Patterson had it off his stick, trying to find Herman, but a good defensive play by UNC's Andrew Pye. Darlene up top keeps it in. Johnson, Deeks, and dangles. It's Herman on top of the faceoff dot. Down low, Govea, back to Herman. They're going to set up a power play opportunity. Catch and go, Govea and Herman. Govea looking for Johnson in the middle. Now he'll drop it off for Darlene. Here's Darlene. One-timer, Johnson. Oh, Andreev got a piece of it, and it goes wide. Govea in front for Patterson, and another big save. Johnson tries a chance. No, it's loose in front of the crease. Andreev comes out to corral it. Action in front. A lot of pushing and shoving of both players. Calm down. A good opportunity for the Ice Pack, but Andreev keeps it going. We're going to have a penalty, though, against the Heels. And so it looks like a 5-on-3 for 2 minutes. They're going to take Kevin Ma. It's going to have to be after the plays. The officials try to get everything sorted out. It looked like towards the end of that replay, maybe a cross-check there at the very end.
We have been seeing some fluid movement, puck movement for the Ice Pack so far. Govea had a great drop pass, and they look, I have to say, the odds of a 5-on-3, Nick, this is kind of crunch time right now.
Yeah, it is. And NC State's going to have 2 minutes of 5-on-3, and then they'll have roughly 14 seconds of 5-on-4 before the Sangster Major ends. But that's the last thing you want to do if you're UNC. A major penalty. As they're getting things sorted out time-wise here about when the major ends, when the 5-on-3 ends. But that's the last thing you want to do if you're UNC. Hurt yourself even more. Now 5-on-3. NC State's going to go, looks like power play number 1 unit with a long pause as they still try to explain everything. It'll be Joey Govea taking the face-off. Herman to his right. Reese Johnson to his left. Behind him, Daniel Prasmas to his right. And the lone defenseman, Andrew Thronson. The 3 penalty killers for UNC, Florian Zayance and Mansar are on the wings. And it looks like Nick Jingra is going to be the center. An explanation to the NC State bench on what's about to happen. But 5-on-3 for 2 minutes, then 14 seconds of 5-on-4. Now an explanation to the North Carolina bench. This is only benefiting, in my opinion, UNC a little bit here to freshen up, because a 5-on-3 penalty kill is very, very tiring, especially with that long change. Face-off goes NC State. Prasma thought about it. He'll pass it off for Franson, and now the 5-on-3 power play will go to work. Herman across. Johnson, they score! Herman to Johnson, a beautiful feed, and NC State's on the board.
The power play unit wasted no time to get one on the board. That was a great job by Prasma. You saw him looked like he was about to, he kind of faked a shot, but by him being patient really opened up the back door for Reese Johnson.
And a beautiful dime of a pass from the captain, Herman. Out of the box comes Kevin Ma for North Carolina. It's 5-on-4 for about 2 minutes now. So NC State's still on a man advantage. They capitalize, though, on the 5-on-3. They're looking to tie the game. Johnson wanted it again, and a good save from Andreev. NC State can feel it though. Thoronson across the ice. Here's Herman. Up top, he'll find Prasma on the wing. Prasma tried to center it and went off the UNC State. That was Bruce Smith. Herman across. As Johnson tried to get a tip in from Gouveia. It goes wide. Herman trying to keep the line. They do not, and it goes down, and UNC is going to have to get a quick change here. Again, the long line change in the second period. But NC State still on the man advantage for another about 65 seconds or so. Here's Prasma. We'll work it across. NC State's going to try to start something here. Good little forecheck from Will Smith. Floated pass. Here's Prasma. They've been on the ice a while. Prasma taken down. Good little hit there from Hilton. Gouveia slaps at it, but here's Will Smith. O'Shaughnessy trailing. It'll be a 2-on-2. But Smith couldn't handle it. O'Shaughnessy was a little late. Didn't want to get too aggressive. Smith throws the body, though, trying to win the puck back. He's got O'Shaughnessy, who tries a one-timer, but he couldn't get it to go. And now the Ice Pack regroup. They're going to have to get some new bodies out there. Here's Labrizzi skating way on through. Across for Ammons. He takes a hit. O'Shaughnessy rifles it down. It went off Darlene's skate, but it goes all the way down as power play time for NC State from the Sangster Major winds down to the final now 25 seconds.
NC State is trying to regroup and regain kind of their zone.
They can't control in the O-zone there. It goes down, and that should kill pretty much the rest of the Jack Sangster Major penalty. Here's Labrizzi. As UNC will get that fifth skater out now. Labrizzi looked across, stolen by Jinxera. Well, Sangster's still in the game. It's a 5-minute Major, but they're letting him stay in. It's going to be icing, though, and some tired penalty killers are going to have to stay out there. Sangster's the only fresh one.
Nick, what did you kind of see in NC State's power play?
Well, it seems like there's a technical difficulty in the scoring system. You can hear from the PA, they're going to have to kind of wind down the penalties. Something wrong potentially with the clock and how they display the penalties. I think that's what the holdup was before the Major, though. As UNC gets it out, NC State capitalizing the 5-on-3. They've got a chance 5-on-5. Gifford was looking for Herman. That first line's been out there for ages for NC State this second period. As UNC will clear to the neutral zone. All Sun lost at Sangster, still throwing the body around a good bit. As Cobber tried to put a quick little nifty shot, couldn't get through. NC State will get it to neutral ice, but they lose possession. And that first line's going to be tired, but they got to play defense now. Behind the net, Ethan Roberts tried to play it for Sun. Got pressured there from Owen Kenny. And Prasma stepping on through. Having trouble corralling the puck. He's still with it into the O-zone. Still with possession on the red line. Now in the corner, being pressured from Mal. Looked across for Lapani. He goes down, but that's not the worst thing for NC State. They're going to get a new forward group out there. Oh, maybe not. First line for NC State. It's got some iron legs right now. They stay on sides. Here's Prasma. Circling behind the net, looking in front, but no one is home as it got caught up in Owen Kenny's skates. UNC will try a push for Cam Glonick. And it'll be run by Sun. Now NC State gets rid of those forwards, minus Gifford. Big hit on Sun behind the play, though. It was Gutman. Pass stolen at center ice from Lapani. Here comes UNC, though. It's Gutman. He'll shoot one, and it misses everything.
Both teams have kind of struggled to find their footing. It seems like a game of passing and who can intercept whose pass.
It seems like they forgot how to play 5-on-5. This is a big hit, but I think UNC was offsides there. And they were. But it looked like a mistake by the official. Called an offsides, it was not. Take a look at this hit, though, on Sun.
Kind of have to anticipate some hits like those, especially kind of skating into coverage. But like you said, that was a kind of a big hit.
Kaufman and Sangster on the draw. Kaufman won a hard-fought battle of it. NC State trying to possess, get it to neutral ice. They do. Who will just shoot it in on net, and it's patted away from Roberts. Sawden now. off of the hand. That's going to be a hand pass because of that. Went off of Sangster's hand and right to a UNC player. Face-off comes out of the O-zone and into the neutral zone. 4:10 to go in the second period.
I have to say that period has gone by. All I can really remember is that NC State power play goal.
Yeah, they had a lot of power play time too, and we had that big stoppage to sort out the game clock and penalty times. That's what they were adjusting. We don't really have any eyes or ears at ice level for us that can relay that information from the linesmen. As NC State has it at center ice on the UNC blue line. This goes out of play and face off back in neutral ice.
And with 3:47 left on the clock, there's a lot both teams can kind of showcase.
And again, UNC gonna go with that late line change since they are the home team. They can go late. Gingras will go out there. He centers Zakowski to his right. And the other forward is Matt Grady. Good defensive play behind from Reese Johnson. That was all stick work against Drew Smith, the defensive man for the Tar Heels. Here's Mason Payne for the ice pack. Up the boards. Ammons will try to dump it in. Didn't really get a lot on it. Now Will Hilton controls the neutral ice. Darlene is there though. Bring it in the O-zone. Drops it off. Kaufman cross for Johnson. A little behind them. Behind the net it goes. They work it into the corner. Darlene there for NC State. Ammons takes a hit from Hilton. Zakowski, the Tar Heel there as well. It's up top for Johnson. Johnson shot misses everything. It looked like he was looking for a deflection in front. As they scrum forward again behind the net. Ammons now, as we got some action behind, some holding, potentially nothing penalty-wise though, as UNC wins the puck battle. They get it to center ice. That one, I think that hit the official potentially and went out of play. Face-off comes back to center ice, and they're going to say it was shot from the UNC side defensively, and so the bit of an advantage there for the ice pack will be right in front of their bench with 2:50 to go.
On that last kind of sequence of events, Darlene was down below the red line. I guess he kind of liked the taste of being a forward for a little bit.
And he's shown that now the last 2 nights, Grace. The last 5 periods we played. If you're UNC, though, you got to take that intel as you can. Potentially get him out of position. NC State, though, has done a decent job at filling in for him, especially Reese Johnson there, as this will be an icing for his entire bodies for UNC.
We've got Govea's line out. Always, I have to say, they're always a strong line.
They definitely are, but they're going against the best of the best for the Heels. But unfortunately for them, it's not Will Smith out there with O'Shaughnessy and Cobber. It's Kevin Ma. And I think it's because of that icing. A dump from Cobber. Oh, Will Smith not coming out there as Ma skates in. So, oh, there he is out there now. Excuse me. It was the defenseman that went off for the Heels. Here's Labrizzi for NC State. Turned it over. Cobber, though, a good aggressive play. He just needs to possess the puck here, though, if you're the Tar Heels. Got it in deep. That's exactly what you want. Smith tried to pass it off. He can. It's a scrum behind the boards. Govea there for NC State, but Smith, relentless. He turned it over to Finch. Finch, he looks up. He's got Rady. He looks up a little late. And it hops over to blue line. UNC's got a touch up. They go for a quick line change. Mob will dump it in. It's Rady, hops his stick. Chance for the Heels, a shot and a save. It's loose in front. Finch got to do something with it, and he does shovel it out, but another good-looking opportunity off of friendly bounce for the Heels. Seems like they've gotten majority of them today. Patterson tries to find Rady a little too much, and Zajic will control. He'll send it back to Kevin Ma. O'Shaughnessy wraps around the boards. Roberts holds behind. O'Shaughnessy goes for a change, a big change for the Heels, actually. Here's Michael Rinaldi, fourth line out there for the ice pack. Oh, nice little move from Patterson. He's got Rinaldi. He'll shoot one, save. Rebound attempt. It's loose in front. No one there. Now Sodin in the slot shoots a bouncer. And he gets it saved from Andreev. Behind the net, Aiden Rady. Bit of a long shift for him now. As UNC controls, they'll break it out. Final minute of play here in the second period. Into the UNC zone. Icing and offsides is a no-go here. Here's Hood. Took a hit. Sodom will just shoot it on net from center ice. Patted away from Andreev. against the boards. NC State trying to control. They will. Patterson looked across, deflected from the skate of Kambaj. He'll bring it in. He'll lead the charge. Pressured from behind. He's got to get rid of it. That's what his teammates are telling him. And I think he touched that, but they're not going to call offside. So if my eyes did me a little dirty there.
There's about 20 seconds left in the second period.
Well, if you're NC State, you did get a goal on the major penalty, but you would have liked to seen a little bit more. They did take Herman because of it, as well as seems like NC State's content to cut the deficit in half here down to 1 at the end of period number 2. Oh, big hit at the end, right in front of the UNC bench. Matt Grady laid it on Patterson. They shove a little bit. They end things now, but
Kind of an unneeded hit. I don't even think he had the puck at the time, especially with the clock running out. That was kind of targeted.
Just a little bit there. Roberts immediately went to the locker room to beat everybody else, so he beats both teams in getting there. A bit of a commotion in the middle of it's Mason Payne. Again, NC State's got to wait for UNC to get off the ice here. Let's take one more look at that hit, though, Grace, at the end of the period and that action that ensued afterwards.
And in last night's game, we didn't really see the physicality amp up until the third period, but I have to say it's been consistent so far.
Yeah, it definitely has, but if you're the Tar Heels, the major penalty, they did a good job killing most of it. They did allow a 5-on-3 goal. That was a big self-inflicted wound. But if you're the Ice Pack, you capitalize on one of them, and the deficit's down to 1 with another 20 minutes to play here at First Horizon Coliseum. It's the North Carolina Tar Heels 2, the NC State Ice Pack 1 on ESPN+.
Back here at First Horizon Coliseum, Nick Perazzi alongside Grace Mata. And Grace, now we're going to recap that second period for both teams. A major penalty from Sangster for North Carolina, and it's a self-inflicted wound on that penalty kill 5-on-4, where they give up a goal 5-on-3.
I have to say, Reese Johnson was really patient, waiting at the back door to kind of push that one in. But if you're UNC, the odds are kind of stacked in your favor. A 5-on-3 is really hard to defend against. You know, you can go into a triangle formation, but you're getting pulled every which way, and that leaves like cracks.
Yeah, and NC State quickly scored on that 5-on-3 opportunity, but UNC did a pretty good job. The rest of that 5-minute major, of course, aided from a 2-minute 4-on-4 with Herman going in the box for the Ice Packs. They did a good job defending it. You know, first intermission, though, we didn't really have a lot to say about UNC because we were nitpicking a lot about NC State, and UNC played just a perfect first period, if you will, from what we saw from last night. But you know, that second period, they had a little bit of trouble sustaining some ozone time.
Especially since that penalty, it was kind of hard for them to find their footing. But I have to say, they have kind of been a strong force so far, and they've sustained ozone pressure. They've done all the things right, but that was kind of a hiccup with their penalty.
Yeah, it definitely was. And you know, we've seen the physicality break up, the extracurriculars as well. So staying mentally sharp really for both teams is going to be key going into the final 20 minutes of a one-goal game.
Exactly. And there's 20 minutes left of hockey, so it truly depends on who shows up this third period. You know, NC State only needs one more goal to get back in this game. And for UNC, if they add one to the board, that could kind of secure their lead.
Well, we haven't really talked about the battle in between the pipes for both teams, all shots on goal. But on the other side of this commercial break, we're going to get right into that here from First Horizon Coliseum.
I would never show my teeth. Would never smile. And it forces you into this submission of silence because you don't think that anybody's going to take what you have to say seriously. Invisalign has changed my life forever.
Have you heard of an exciting global company that is dedicated to improving outcomes for people fighting cancer? A company that is transforming life sciences into life-saving cancer drugs. A company that has demonstrated excellence and innovation for 20 years. Have you heard of Huya Bio International? At Huya, fighting cancer is our sport, and we're fighting for you.
I would never forget the picture that I have. I'm the only one that's not smiling. Even though I'm with my close friends, I felt alone. I didn't feel pretty, I didn't feel confident. When I got Invisalign, I built my confidence. It was the best investment that I could do.
Everyone has a community, a neighborhood, school, kids' teams, where you worship, work out, or any other place or group where you choose to belong. Communities can provide support when you need it, and even when you don't know you do. Like when it comes to preventing underage drinking and other substance use. Community members can be your eyes and ears when you're not with your kids and alert you to signs of potential problems. Learn more at talktheyhearyou.samhsa.gov.
Tar Heel hockey. It's about more than just a game. It's about the symbol on the front of the jersey and the pride behind wearing Carolina blue. It's about upholding the culture of Carolina, which breeds hard work, integrity, and dedication. It's about carrying the legacy of those who wore it before you and laying the foundation for those who will wear it after. Tonight, it's about heart. Tonight, it's about a rivalry. Tonight, it's the fight for Carolina. This is Tar Heel hockey.
Welcome back to First Horizon Coliseum. Nick Perazzi alongside Grace Mata again. And Grace, I kind of hinted at what we were going to talk about this little hit here. We're going to talk about the players in between the pipes for both teams. First, we're going to start with NC State. Ethan Roberts gave up 2 testy ones in the first period, gave up 1 last night playing again. He played a little bit better the second period.
I do have to say, Andre has been the star of this game so far. But like you said, Roberts has been kind of stood on his head this entire season so far. He's been a great addition for the Ice Pack.
And NC State's relied on him maybe a little bit too much here the last 2 games. Maybe something North Carolina could take advantage of. But you mentioned Andre, the sophomore from Virginia and F for the Tar Heels, has just been fantastic tonight. His only goal that he gave up was just a beautiful play when you lack a defensive end. On 5-on-3. There's not much he could do, but he's taken over this game, and that's a really good sign for the Tar Heels to see.
It truly is. And as a defenseman, it's amazing to be able to take, if on a 2-on-1, you want the goalie to kind of take the shooter and you take the potential pass, and it's amazing to have a goalie you can truly trust on that play.
No, yeah, it really is. We're going to take a couple looks at some of those goals and some of those big saves when we come back. We're going to go a little bit deeper into how those plays were made when we come back here from the Greensboro complex. Back here at First Horizon Coliseum, where the North Carolina Tar Heels lead the NC State Ice Pack 2-1, but Grace could very easily be an NC State advantage. But we're going to take a couple of looks at some big Andrea saves that he made in the first and second periods of tonight's game. And it all starts here. Just fantastic saves there. And Grace, as a goalie, How do you just keep making big save after big save in a moment like this?
I have a feeling it's just pure adrenaline in a game like this, at a venue like this as well. He's honestly played such an amazing game in the first 2 periods.
And it seems like maybe some roles reversed for both teams' goaltenders. Ethan Roberts' role being played from Andreev tonight, and Roberts playing the role of Brown maybe last night. But I mean, really that second period, NC State was just constantly in the North Carolina end, created a lot of chaos of under Andreev. But I mean, look at these saves that he's making right here. Another prime opportunity. That was for holding Kaufman in front. But then the goal that they do give up, there's not much he can do. Again, just sprawling out, doing everything that he can. And, you can't sustain this, though, for the rest of the game.
No, and as a forward, you want to get bodies to the net, and NC State has done a great job at that. A few rebounds have come loose a little bit, and there's no one there to try to tap one in, but like we saw in Reese Johnson's goal, he was there and he was chomping at the bit, as you see on the screen right now.
Yeah, and you just look at how much room that you have on a 5-on-3 like that, and Reese Johnson just waiting for that puck to be made to him for availability. Herman finds it through the slot. Beautiful pass, beautiful connection, but if you're UNC, got to help Andreev out in this third period because he can't keep these heroics going on forever.
Exactly, and we just saw his basically highlight reel. He might want to add that after this game's over.
Well, it's good for UNC to have another goalie behind Lucas Brown that could perform like this in big moments. The final 20 minutes from First Horizon Coliseum are on deck. 2-1 North Carolina on top of NC State.
Tar Heel hockey. It's about more than just a game. It's about the symbol on the front of the jersey and the pride behind wearing Carolina blue. It's about upholding the culture of Carolina, which breeds hard work, integrity, and dedication. It's about carrying the legacy of those who wore it before you and laying the foundation for those who will wear it after. Tonight, it's about heart. Tonight, it's about a rivalry. Tonight, it's the fight for Carolina. This is Tar Heel hockey.
Wahoo! What's he so excited about?
He just heard about Gladwell Orthodontics Invisalign Night.
Woo! Yeah! Woo! Invisalign what?
Invisalign Night, the only night where new customers can save over $1,100 on Invisalign treatment.
And great prizes!
And they're giving away some pretty sweet prizes like free Thanksgiving dinner.
That sounds awesome!
Come join us November 5th and 6th for the Gladwell Orthodontics Invisalign Night at our Raleigh and Wake Forest locations.
Gladwell!
The orthodontist that mouths are talking about.
Welcome back to First Horizon Coliseum. I'm Grace Motto, and the all-new ESPN app has arrived. It's all of ESPN all in one place. It's your home for the most and best live sports and a whole new way to experience ESPN. With over 47,000 live events, studio shows, and ESPN originals, and brand new features, it's a sports fan's dream. Check out Multiview and watch up to 4 games at once. Or track your fantasy team while you watch TV. The future of sports has arrived, and it's called ESPN. So download the ESPN app on your TV or mobile device, log in, and start streaming.
They put the final 20 minutes on the scoreboard here at First Horizon Coliseum. We welcome everybody back that saw that heartbreaking defeat over in Chapel Hill. An upset bid just falls short in football, but for the Tar Heel fans watching at home, their hockey team could potentially pull this big upset off over in Greensboro. 2-1, 20 minutes left here, and what has been a great battle the last 2 nights between these two great programs. who really represent college hockey in the South very, very well. Faceoff goes to NC State, and we start the third period. The fanned attempt on a dump, but it does get there. And it's holding Kaufman there for NC State. They're going to roll with that third line. UNC rolling with their first line, their second line. As this one goes into center ice, it's going to be Kevin Ma trying to throw it across, but it hit holding Kaufman, and NC State tries to collect. But, I mean, look at those numbers for UNC in front of Kaufman. They intercept the pass. Now it's down low in the corner for Grady. Sends it around the boards for Zakowski, but he can't handle it on his stick. It goes up top. Ma keeps the line. Grady's wide open in the middle. The pass just couldn't get there. There was nobody near him at all. But again, NC State can't break out of their own zone. Zakowski battling hard for it. He keeps it in the zone. Skips over Grady's stick, and now Mason Payne for the ice pack has it. He'll send it around the boards, and it's out in the neutral ice. NC State going to try to get a quick change as UNC takes it all the way back in.
Just then you had what could have been a costly mistake on NC State with 3 UNC players in the
They got a good opportunity here. Finch's shot wide on a great forecheck from NC State. Oh, you were just talking about NC State made a bad mistake. UNC almost did the same thing there, except NC State was able to get a shot off. As they're able to corral into center ice now, but UNC will dump it back and actually keep it after one off Govea. Gamboge just couldn't find O'Shaughnessy. It's stolen by Finch. He'll go across, gets the puck right back on a give and go with Rady. Rady controls it up top, trying to keep it in. It's on the blue line. He kept it in, but it went off a UNC player. Rady, not still in the zone now. It's officially out after it was bouncing with Mansour. As Govea kicks it, Rady coming on in. He'll shoot one. Andreev makes the save.
Rady has that great advantage with his height and his stick reach. He can easily poke check it out of anyone's stick.
Yeah, Rady for NC State and then Zajic for North Carolina. 2 of the taller players you'll see in college hockey. First line for each team out there. O'Shaughnessy wins another faceoff like he has pretty much done almost every time the last 24 hours now. As UNC look at their control, not a lot on that pass. Made a bounce, and it's stolen from the ice pack. Prasma across, Gifford collects, shoots. Knocked down by Prasma, but not on net. Here come the Tar Heels the other way. Dumped in, Drew Smith. He'll go in deep as Roberts has to shovel it behind him. Now the ice pack hustling the other way. Gifford harassed from Smith. Good defensive play from Smith and Hilton, the 2 D-men. Hit it up for O'Shaughnessy. Into the slot, looking for a shot. What a play from Prasma. O'Shaughnessy stays with it, but he didn't have Will Smith, who was crashing for a rebound behind the net. Now NC State controls looking to break it out. It's Jake Gifford through center ice. Now into the O-zone. Gifford will backhand one, and it's easily padded away if it was even on net. Now in the corner, Gifford against Daniel Hu. Now Sangster joins that battle as well as Herman. They go down to the ice. It's still against the boards, and now NC State has it with a good opportunity in front. Herman, and it's sticked away from Andreev. Oh, a nice little play there from the goaltender. And now the Heels come the other way. It's off of Smith's skates, and now here's Jake Lapani. The D-man brings it in on sides. Against the boards, crunching hit against the boards. Chance for Raleigh, taken down in front, lost an edge. Lapani and Smith are tangled up. They're trying to get loose. They still are trying to, and now are. UNC collects it in their DN. He tries to throw some body against Glonick, but he dumped it in. It's around the boards for Sawden. And now up top, there's a shot. Didn't really get there from Andrew Pye. Into the corner. And now here come the ice pack. Patterson led a lot of these charges tonight. This 4th line for NC State. There's a shot from Michael Rinaldi, but it didn't get through. Looking in front for Raleigh. It was behind him. But he's going to get it here. Oh, a nice sprawling play with the stick from Andrew Pye. That saved a prime opportunity for Rinaldi in front. And here come the Heels the other way. That shot is padded away from the right pad of Roberts. We have some action behind the play. Owen Kenny, who took the shot. And Jake Lapani tangled up there. But Grace, up and down we go. Both teams with some good looks.
Yeah, I have to say, UNC has stood firm on their blue line, limiting zone entry for NC State.
Kenny will take the draw for the Heels. And for NC State, Ben Patterson. And Patterson able to win that one. NC State trying to race down the ice after they get the win. They will dump it into the O zone. Send around from Andreev. And now, here comes Kenny. Kenny shoots. That one saved by Roberts. Now more action behind the play.
I said it's like clockwork after every shot. There's some extracurriculars going on. But that was a quick release from UNC. Oh, and it looks like Darlene.
Gonna get a penalty. They're gonna send Darlene. They're gonna try to kind of corral it. Darlene's gonna look for an explanation, but if you're North Carolina right now, you're happy that you're gonna go on this man advantage. They lost a little bit of their momentum in that second period with that big penalty. It's been about 50-50 play since. NC State's had more shots on goal, but a great opportunity. And they're going to go with that first power play line of O'Shaughnessy, Smith, and Zakowski. Up top, Will Hilton and Drew Smith. And always a dangerous threat, one of the best power play units in all of ACC hockey. They'll get to work. It's Hilton up top. He had the first goal of the game. O'Shaughnessy on the wing. Tried it for Smith behind the net. They'll collect it now in the corner. Pass got deflected. It bounces right to Ammons. And he's able to get it out. It's a 2-minute hooking penalty. Excuse me, roughing penalty against Darlene, one of NC State's defensive men. As UNC's having a trouble getting into the zone here. Gets sent down again from NC State. But the Heels look to rebound here. And O'Shaughnessy's got speed on the wing. Looks to dump it in. Took a hit against the boards. Good chance here. Kamboja shot. Roberts stayed tough. Here's it in the middle. It's loose. And Roberts covers. Good opportunity there for the Tar Heels. Crashing in was Zakowski, but Roberts kind of just let the shot go into his chest. It was loose in front. He didn't really do much different to make the save there, but you got to like that.
You could totally see how Roberts kind of sealed off against that post, making sure nothing could really get higher than his shoulders for UNC's shot.
And a really good shot it was. Zakowski crashing in hard. That's what the Heels need right now. Up by one. Good chance to put some distance between them and NC State here in the third. Less than a minute on the penalty. Again, having some issues with how much penalty time there is. A chance in the middle. It's loose in the slot. NC State trying to get it out. Kamboj rushed in, but it's cleared out. Oh, another good chaotic opportunity for North Carolina. They just couldn't get a stick to the puck there. They're going to try to break it out again, led by Kevin Ma. The sophomore from Carey's going to find Nick Gingra. Down under 30 seconds now. Roberts will send it across. It's picked up there from the Heels. Across, but no one home. And Finch, he can't clear it. Goes off of Matt Grady's stick. And now it's all the way down for NC State. Lapani's going to take a lot of time off. It goes all the way down.
10, 9,
and here are the final couple seconds of the power play for UNC tick off. They're going to be 0 for 2 now on the night. 0 for 5 in the last 24 hours. A couple of good looks there for the Heels. They just couldn't find the back of the net. Still up by one, though, with just over 13 minutes to play. They're going to set up that great forecheck again. Here's Pye. Down low, Grady sends it around. Jack Singster there. He gets bodied off the puck. But Cobber there for North Carolina. They go across. Here's Florian Zajic, a shot. Blocked, pinballed off Lapani, then Sangster now behind the net. Cobber in the corner, able to get it back. Well, not quite. And it's loose in the middle, though. Cobber tried to step through, couldn't. The puck keeps bouncing in the middle. Oh, Zajic, a great reverse hit on Austin Finch. Sun tries to throw the body. A lot of physicality now right in front of the net. And NC State's going to get the puck here, and they're just going to dump it and go for a change. And North Carolina's physicality is really getting to NC State right now. As the Ice Pack try to forecheck. This one goes all the way to the NC State D zone. And it's turned over, though. Good opportunity, and missing everything was Cash Kodesh. Excuse me, Zach Kodesh.
Past couple of minutes have been UNC heavy.
And that forecheck's developing again, and the power play will help with that. And that's exactly what the Heels need to do right now. Just watch that clock tick while they have possession. Another one would be nice. First line out for NC State. It's Daniel Prasma off the back of the net. Now Herman. Darlene will shoot one out of the box. First shift back. It's behind the net. Herman was trying to find Prasma. He can't. And a good little look from Kodesh. He was trying to find Daniel Hu, but a little outstretch. NC State goes for a change. UNC will try to possess, try to catch him on the change, but can't control through center ice. Now it goes in deep. Good hustle play from Ammons for the ice pack. He goes down, and he took a body with him. That was Will Hilton. The NC State forwards are going to keep it in, though. Ammons behind the net. Into the face-off dot. It's loose, but North Carolina will control it for the moment, and now will as they go to center ice. Good opportunity here. Dumped in deep. Will Smith will chase. They'll get O'Shaughnessy, their captain, out there. First line out there again for the Tar Heels. Labreezy with a nice little step around on Cobber. And now NC State tries to break it out. Oh, Johnson maybe a little too quick on that pass. He was looking for, I believe, Ammons. And Ammons was just not ready for it.
NC State trying to win that puck back, trying to stay in UNC zone for a little bit longer.
And a big icing call here. Fortunately for North Carolina, they haven't had a lot of ice time out there for that first line or that defensive pairing. But NC State's going to roll a whole bunch of new fresh bodies. That fourth line, which has actually played pretty well for NC State today against North Carolina's first line. But again, that faceoff dot, it's O'Shaughnessy. And guess what, Grace? What another one. I mean, just one of the best faceoff guys you'll see in this league. Just the master of the craft, the captain for the Heels. This one's going to be icing against North Carolina State. And now a good opportunity for the Tar Heels. And O'Shaughnessy's going to skate to the bench. They're going to bring out a new line of forwards.
Like you said, O'Shaughnessy has truly been great on the faceoff dot, especially with their set plays, trying to get the puck out, getting a jump on their breakout has been a key factor.
And from the eye test, he's maybe lost one or two in these last two games. Just been key in terms of why North Carolina's had so much success offensively the last two nights in terms of possession. That goes in the NC State bench. But just 3 goals now in about 110 minutes against the ice pack for North Carolina. They just can't solve that man right there, Ethan Roberts, even though they're having grade A high-quality chances.
And as a defenseman or as a whole team, you gotta kind of give Roberts a pat on the back and be like, hey, we're trying our best, and we know that you are too.
Face-off won by NC State. They were doing a good job in the first period in the dot, but since then it's got a bit awry. This is an offsides play. NC State has to touch up so the Heels can possess, but bouncing puck over Glonek, Sticky can't control. Behind the net, it bounces off the net. Get up against the boards. Sawden will try to find Rinaldi. He can, and now it's going to be possessed by Kevin Ma. Ma try to step around Patterson now in a battle with Rinaldi. Glonek says, I'll join in. And they battle in front of the NC State bench. And Kenny fights for the puck, but it's going to be lifted up and out, and a hit on Rinaldi. Oh, big hit on Zayed, from Zayed, excuse me. Knock Patterson down to the ice. North Carolina moves through the neutral zone now. It's Kevin Ma. Gutman kind of got in his way there. Now NC State has numbers. 3-on-2 chance. Rady drops it off. Patterson will shoot, but he misses high. Rady set the screen, but Patterson just going to find the net there. And now the Tar Heels the other way. It's Ma again leading the charge, but he turns it over. Oh, good job keeping it in, though. It's Gutman. Excuse me, Zakowski kept it in there. Zip by on the boards. NC State possesses. They're going to need a change here. Here's Aiden Rady. We'll dump it in deep around Hilton, try to step through him. Drew Smith there, an awkward bounce. High puck, no one knows where it was. Rady knows where it is first. Out in front, here's Darlene. He'll shoot one, deflected. Oh, and it went off the net.
Great job by NC State causing some chaos in front of Andreves.
Yeah, Gouveia with a good deflection there, but this game's kind of settled down a little bit. Well, as I say that, here's Grady on the wing. Knocked the stick out of Gouveia as it went into the corner. Oh, nice little move around Darlene. What can Grady do here behind the net? He's got O'Shaughnessy crashing with him, but they can't get on the same page, and now NC State possesses it. Oh, good play from Cobber again. He's had a lot of those. This should be offsides against North Carolina. I believe it left the zone. If they touch it, they do not call it. Here's Cobber. Goes beyond the net. Oh, dangerous little sneaky shot there. Roberts just right. This will leave the zone. Not quite enough for icing. Camboge will possess it. Gifford in front, and Camboge will take it behind his net. 7:45 to go here in this final period. 2-1 Heels. Herman shoves Camboge down to the ice. He gives up the puck and loses it to the ice pack at center ice. Here's Labrizzi. He'll dump it in deep. Cobber will slap it around. O'Shaughnessy waiting for it. Went off the linesman. Man, they've gotten in the way a lot tonight. And now O'Shaughnessy gives it up. A missed fan attempt from Cobber, but O'Shaughnessy's with it. And we'll go around the boards. Brasman dekes around Will Smith. Now the ice pack move through. Here's Zach Herman. Now send it around the boards. They crunch up against it on the far end. Camboge with it for North Carolina.
That was a great change of direction for the play by Zach Herman by rimming it.
Breezy with the shot with some traffic. It just whistles wide of the post. Tied up behind the net. Camboge with it. He's done a good job of winning those 50-50 battles behind the net. NC State possessed it at center ice. Breezy, good opportunity for NC State off the line change. Here's Prasma on in, and a good play from Zajic, but he's going to get called for a penalty as Prasma goes into the boards. There's nothing else Zajic could have done there except take that penalty and not give Prasma a prime opportunity on his goaltender, and a good opportunity for NC State to try and tie this game.
We'll get another look at UNC's penalty kill. You know, NC State was victorious on their power play, so it'll be interesting to see with the clock winding down, the pressure's on for NC State.
There's one more look at that penalty. You watch Prasma come in. I mean, Zajic has to pretty much make that because of the speed of Prasma. Otherwise, he's got a good chance of tying this game up, but fortunately for North Carolina, they're without their best defenseman, their alternate captain. So a 5-on-4 for NC State. They scored 5-on-3, and then the time of 5-on-4, they could not find the back of the net. One-timer! Oh, it hits the post! Hammonds got it in the upper corner, but it just bounced out. Another opportunity, and it goes into the netting.
What a great opening play on the power play. Hammonds with a rocket of a shot.
My goodness, it was that close to being 2-2. Great look at it here behind the camera. Behind the goal, a lot of traffic in front of the left. Hammonds the one-timer off the crossbar. Goalie's best friend. NC State, though, controls off the draw. Here's Herman on the wing. Up top, Thronson down low, and it's deflected. Good defensive play to get it out. Will Hilton just had a phenomenal first 2 periods. He keeps it up on the penalty kill here, and UNC will get some fresh legs. About 40 seconds gone now on the power play. NC State trying to break out of their own zone. O'Shaughnessy will pressure. Here's Prasma. Steps around Drew Smith. Shoots it off the goal. Chance for a one-timer sneakily by Gouveia, but he misses, and it goes all the way down. More new fresh legs for UNC. In fact, they'll get 3 of 4 new bodies out there.
The key to the breakout on the power play is to make sure everyone's moving.
And NC State, they've moved a good bit on the power play last 2 nights. This time, though, just can't really possess the puck. Fantastic penalty kill so far from the Heels. Minus that first shot, but Prasma trying to change that fate. Right in front, they score! Joey Gouveia! And we're tied at 2.
Who else but Joey Gouveia stuffing that puck in the back of the net.
Well, a bit of an announcer's jinx on my end. I apologize to the North Carolina fans out there. It was a fantastic kill, but NC State gets one of their few bounces of the game. Prasma across and Gouveia able to finish it off.
You could see that puck kind of bouncing a little bit when Prasma had it, so a great job by Joey Gouveia to kind of settle it down and
yeah, it's not an easy one. Andreev did everything he could, sprawled across. But NC State in the last couple of minutes have really put some pressure on North Carolina. And they have tied the game with just over 5 minutes to play. Darlene tries one, and it's gloved on the rebound from Andreev.
Andreev has had a golden glove so far, and we have seen just by some of the shots that have gone in that he is not as well oiled on his blocker side, but don't doubt his glove.
NC State controls off the draw, but they can't get a clean pass. And Boge tries to whistle it out. Anderson just throws one in the middle and he can't. Some Wolfpack chants in the crowd now happening. Not really heard a lot from the NC State fans. Heard a decent bit from the UNC fans here. As that clearance attempt fanned on, but then gotten through. It's Daniel Hu now in the UNC defensive end. And Boge gets wrestled against the boards. He'll send it deep. Not enough for icing. Scooped by Darlene. Gingras with a good forecheck on Darlene. He actually might win this puck. I gets deflected back to Holden Kaufman, but look how deep those three forwards for UNC are, trying to force a turnover. And they did just that. Gingras tried to shoot one. Didn't get through. Good hustle though from Johnson. 3-on-1 for NC State. Johnson shoots. And a save from Andreev. Drew Smith kind of took away the angle to the other two Ice Pack players, and Andreev was able just to stand tall on that post. And a good recovery from the Tar Heels.
That was great positioning by Smith.
Taking a good look at it here. The sophomore from Cape Cod, Massachusetts. Took away that passing angle. Tried it on Andreev. Also a good job from Hilton getting back. Take away another one of those angles. Probably a stick lift if it went into the middle. Heels control off the draw thanks to O'Shaughnessy once again. 4 minutes to go in the third period. And the captain will shoot one. Caught Roberts by surprise, but it missed wide. He'll shoot another one beyond the net. Smith first there for UNC. They battle against the boards. Up top, one-timer from Smith. It's Payne's skate. And then Cobber tried to slack at it, but it got away from him. Into center ice, bouncing puck. Finally able to be controlled from Hilton, and a beneficial misplay from Johnson. Forces NC State to touch up. Sent in from Hilton, no icing here. Herman has it for NC State. He'll send it out. And then sit right back in, though, from Will Smith. NC State tries to break it out. Lapani kind of took that away from Prasma. Good positioning and spacing there from the Ice Pack. And still lose that center ice. We've seen a good bit of this the last about 40 minutes now of this game. It's been a battle of trying to move through the neutral zone and possess the puck in the O zone. Herman steps around. Gutman now the Ice Pack the other way. It's loose in front, but the Heels play it nicely and get the puck. Now Gutman. We'll just dump it in caddy corner. Kevin Ma there for UNC, but Thronson steps around them for the Ice Pack. Ma, though, has the puck again. He'll shoot one on a tough angle. Made sure Roberts was in the right position. Another shot. Roberts pads away. Shot from Gutman. And this one will get shoveled out to center ice. Zajic there for the Tar Heels. All good deflection there. Now in front for Gifford. And it got knocked away. Prasma somehow wound up with that puck to find him. Another long shift for him, and he's going to come off the ice. 2:19 to go.
Gifford kind of got that puck past to him when he was already skated into.
Gingras across, they score! Adam Zakowski! Heels back in front with 2:10 to go!
What a turn of events.
Well, it was a battle of who could control in the offensive zone, and the UNC forecheck pays more dividends. A beautiful pass in front from Gingras on his forecheck. He's been one of the better players forechecking tonight for the Heels. They've done a fantastic job of doing it the last two nights, and it gives them a late 3-2 lead here. We've got a rush on Roberts now to see if he leaves the net. It's in the NC State O-zone. Gouveia with it. Good battle now. He'll shoot one. Andreev saw it at the last second. It's in his chest. Shot from Darlene. And a face-off of 156.
UNC fans are looking alive in the stands right now.
North Carolina fans definitely pleased with what they are seeing and the response after NC State tied it. Another classic between these two squads. This time over in Greensboro. Quick shot off a loose puck into Hammonds, and it's saved on Andre. That puck kind of just sat there for, seems like an eternity before someone did something with it.
Kind of slow motion right then.
Minute 51 to go. Be interesting again to see when Roberts comes out. NC State and UNC both have a timeout they can use still. And it's Kaufman able to win the puck battle. Here's Darlene. He'll shoot one. It gets deflected. Roberts halfway out, not coming out yet. It goes around the boards, kept in by Darlene up top. Roberts slowly headed to the bench, and he is off. Extra attacker on. This one shot right at Mason Payne. It left the zone. Oh, that's going to be a hand pass they call. Looked like they might have prematurely called an offside, but a great call by the official of a hand pass. Back to the net goes Ethan Roberts with a minute 29 to go.
And in the neutral zone faceoff. This could be one either way.
And O'Shaughnessy will take it for the Heels against Herman. Line one versus line one. The Heels win it. Roberts has to stay put. This is going to be an icing, though, I believe, if it has enough, and it does. Oh, a grave mistake from Hilton. He knows that as he looks straight into the rafters here at First Horizon Coliseum. 82 seconds to go. 3-2 Tar Heels, but an ozone draw for NC State. The good thing for North Carolina, though, O'Shaughnessy takes the draw, but he loses one there. A rare loss. Here's Darlene with the shot deflected, loose in front. Andreev with the great reflexes to cover it. Looked like Prasma fell on top of him. He'll just skate out of there. Both teams playing it smart, don't want to take another penalty. But Grace, a great opportunity for NC State.
Like you said, it would be detrimental for a penalty at this time. You have just a little bit over a minute left. And the puck is in your zone. If you're UNC, you're just trying to get that puck out. Or on net for the empty net.
Extra attackers, Reese Johnson for NC State. Net's still empty. Gifford off the draw. And it's swatted away from Andre. Drew Smith behind the net will shovel it out. It will go all the way down. They're going to say it got deflected, I believe, from Darlene. Oh, now a whistle. Now it is. They're going to say it's played with a high stick from NC State. That's going to be the call there. Excuse me. And so this draw is going to be in the NC State D zone with a minute 3 to go, so Roberts has to come back in. And a big break for North Carolina. They defended it perfectly off the draw and got a beneficial call of a high stick there. It was the correct call and a good little read from the official, but they lose a draw here.
1 minute remaining in the period.
Final minute here in Greensboro, 3-2 Tar Heels. Here's Labrizzi behind his own net. This forecheck for North Carolina has been strong, but they can't get something here. Off goes Roberts. Extra attacker on again. Roberts and Hilton collide. Prasma and Hilton collide. Behind the net. Delayed penalty coming up. Prasma goes after it. Smith gets tangled up with another body on the near side. Oh, now we got even more action. Gifford way in on O'Shaughnessy. And it's getting a little ugly here in Testy in Greensboro.
Smith.
And they're going to take some key players for both teams. It's both teams' first liners out there. I believe Prasma is going to be one of them. Maybe O'Shaughnessy.
I think Smith's going to the box as well.
Take a look. Prasma's got some words for Hilton. It's Prasma and Hilton in the box. They'll throw Will Smith in. They'll throw Jake Gifford in.
And
they'll throw Herman in. So they're yapping on the bench right now. In the box. That's the hit that Smith made on Herman. Had a lot of words.
Herman, from the looks of it, didn't retaliate at all.
No, unless they're going to call the penalty on Herman, because it was a delayed penalty. So that might be it, but really for both teams there, that is not what you want to do with 40 seconds left in a one-goal game. Really, both teams' first liners would end it. Just not smart hockey there to take all those penalties and retaliate. At the moment, it's 3 guys in the box for NC State. Their whole first line, Prasma, Gifford, and Herman. For UNC, it's their top defensive men, Will Hilton, and then Will Smith.
Some names we've brought up a lot in the broadcast.
Sorting things out, and again, 40 seconds left, but we've had an issue with the penalty clocks. in this game. And if NC State's able to net one home in the last 40 seconds, that will matter in overtime. But another key point is, where will this draw take place? And will Roberts have to go back to the net? As well as, will this be 4-on-4, 4-on-3, 5-on-4, 5-on-5? We don't know at the moment. But all I do know is that the last 40 seconds are going to be exciting.
Truly, and they're going to be crucial for either team.
Two defensive captains, Labrizzi and Zajic, talking to the officials in front of the PA box. Still got some explanations going on. Right now, NC State's got 5 players on the ice, although Labrizzi, one of them, talking to the official as they alternate captain. UNC's got 4. Hilton skates back.
With 40 seconds on the clock, I feel like off the draw, it looks like they're setting, the puck is in UNC's zone. I don't know if they're going to set up there, but if you're NC State, you want to get a shot off right away.
Well, they actually just sent Will Hilton off here. He's headed back to the locker room. So actually, there's 3 penalties right now for each team. Hilton, going to assume, ejected from the game. And we'll play the last 40 seconds of the third period. We're going to have to wait a lot longer than 40 seconds. Try to get everything sorted out. As both teams come back to the bench. This really acts as a timeout for NC State. They don't have to use it. But you're missing your top 3 players. Your entire first line's gone. You're UNC, you're missing your top defensive pairing. As now serving the penalty for Hilton, who was in the box. Then they kicked him out into the locker room. Kodesh will come in. So Will Smith, Kodesh in the box for the Heels. They've got 5 out there. NC State has got 5, but Roberts is skating to the net.
And the faceoff will be in their zone.
Yeah, faceoff's going to be in NC State's zone. So I think what happened when Herman took a penalty during action of play, is in the corner, a bit of a blind spot for us up here. It might have been a slash, might have been a cross-check on Will Smith. Smith took objection to it, retaliated, and then Prasma and Gifford got into it with Will Hilton as well. And then Kodesh is filling in for Hilton in the box right now. So it's going to be a power play for North Carolina. If they win the draw, the nail in the coffin might be right there, and O'Shaughnessy will take it.
You have a strong unit out for NC State. Donleen, Ammons, to mention.
O'Shaughnessy to take the draw against Holden Kaufman. 40 seconds to go. 1 goal, North Carolina lead. O'Shaughnessy wins it. Now it's time to play possession. Zakowski is going to shoot one, and it's saved by Roberts. You got O'Shaughnessy taking the draw. Doesn't hurt to force a face-off, but you want to play the possession battle. But again, you don't want to play to not lose here, and I think that's what North Carolina is doing. It's the smart thing to play to win here with 33 seconds, but you don't want to make a crucial mistake. O'Shaughnessy wins another right to Ma. Ma holding. Zakowski with it. Now you just got to play the possession game. 28 seconds and counting. O'Shaughnessy against the boards. Again, North Carolina on the power play. Goes up against the boards. It's loose, and NC State possesses. Roberts immediately out. 15 seconds. Ammons across. Caught up in the skates for Kaufman. Down to 10 seconds. Scooped up by Smith, trying to get it out. NC State trying it with a chance. 3 seconds to go. Smith shoots it down. Daleen shot at the buzzer. Doesn't get through. And the North Carolina Tar Heels win a gutsy one, 3-2.
And a split series to end the rivalry games.
Final score, North Carolina Tar Heels 3. NC State Rice back to.
They mob Ander Andreev in the net, and for good reason. Stood on his head all game, saved 27 of 29, sprawled his body out in every which direction, kept the Tar Heels in front for most of it. But the big difference maker for North Carolina, that late goal with 2 ting left from Adam Zakowski.
For day 2 of the 704 outdoor face-off against the South Carolina Gamecocks.
These 2 teams will match up once again in the Governor's Cup in about a month's due time over in Raleigh at the Lenovo Center. A lot of rivalry action that happened towards the end of the game. I expect that to spill over into the Governor's Cup, but a really good split for North Carolina here, Grace, after not the start that they wanted in D1 at 3-5-2, 3-6-2. They come out of this weekend 4-6-2 with a big win over their arch rivals.
Like you said, some maybe unfinished business. I feel like we have the Governor's Cup in a different venue as well at Lenovo, and another added pressure. But I feel like both teams will be hungry. You know, both of them got a win out of this weekend, but I don't know if that's enough for them.
Well, it will be a big question. Of course, since these two schools are right down the road, a lot of friendly faces across the way, and each team will say hi to NC State's got to wait again for UNC to get back to the locker room. These locker rooms are next to each other. But it is North Carolina taking this special game in Greensboro 3-2 thanks to the heroics of Andre Andreev and the game-winning goal from Adam Zakowski. We'll wrap everything up in our post-game show right after the break.
What's he so excited about?
He just heard about Gladwell Orthodontics Invisalign Night.
Woo! Yeah! Woo! Invisalign what?
Invisalign Night, the only night where new customers can save over $1,100 on Invisalign treatment.
And great prizes!
And they're giving away some pretty sweet prizes like free Thanksgiving dinner.
That sounds awesome!
Come join us November 5th and 6th for the Gladwell Orthodontics Invisalign Night at our Raleigh and Wake Forest locations.
Gladwell!
The orthodontist that mouths are talking about.
Have you heard of an exciting global company that is dedicated to improving outcomes for people fighting cancer? A company that is transforming life sciences into life-saving cancer drugs. A company that has demonstrated excellence and innovation for 20 years. Have you heard of Huya Bio International? At Huya, fighting cancer is our sport, and we're fighting for you.
For each life moment, your kids could get free or low-cost health coverage from Medicaid or CHIP. Kids up to age 19 are covered for checkups, vaccines, dentist visits, hospital care, and more. Your kids may be eligible now, even if you've applied before. And if they already have Medicaid or CHIP, remember to renew every year. Get started now at insurekidsnow.gov. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
When you look at me, you might see
a person with Parkinson's disease.
But if you look closer,
You'll see
A warrior mom.
an endurance athlete.
someone with a lot of fight.
every 9 minutes, someone is diagnosed with Parkinson's disease.
And every one of them can turn to the American Parkinson Disease Association.
Look closer.
My spirit
Is unshakable.
Visit apdaparkinson.org to learn more and show your support today.
Don't trust just anyone with your orthodontic care. Gladwell Orthodontics offers flexible financing, top-notch care, and a friendly office environment at our conveniently placed locations. Gladwell Orthodontics. Book your complimentary new patient exam today.
Another teenager, victim to fake pills. That smells like big crime that needs to be stopped. Before buying pills online, think about this. Should buying prescription pills be this easy? Did you know that fake prescription pills may contain fentanyl, and an amount small enough to fit on the tip of a pencil can be lethal? Before buying pills from social media, think again. Learn more at mcgruffpsa.org and go for real.
Experience matters. Visit Gladwell Orthodontics for your complimentary new patient exam. North Carolina's #1 Invisalign provider. Let us show you why you are a candidate for Invisalign.
Well, the fans clear out here at First Horizon Coliseum with a North Carolina Tar Heels victory, 3-2 over the NC State Ice Pack. Nick Ferrazzi alongside Grace Mata. And Grace, another classic between these two teams. And this game reminded me of the Governor's Cup about 2 years ago, where NC State battled back into a game late. They scored to tie it late, but North Carolina ended up winning it. Adam Zakowski, the hero tonight.
In games like these, it's hard to really predict who's going to win. Especially, I talked about it during the broadcast, that it's difficult to sweep a series like this, especially in a different venue and not playing at your home rink. But UNC came out victorious this time.
Yeah, they did. And, last night, maybe a little bit of disappointment for the Tar Heels. It felt like they outplayed NC State in every facet of the game. That's something that I mentioned on the broadcast a good bit. NC State just kind of got a lot of the bounces last night. Today, though, the exact opposite. North Carolina got a couple of friendly bounces, and they needed them. But you got to give a lot of credit to the man in net. Onder Andreev tonight just played out of his mind, Grace.
He truly did. And I have to say, UNC played all 3 periods. And I believe that with the help of their goalie, that was really the difference.
No, it definitely was for the Tar Heels. I do want to look at that third period just a little bit more underneath a microscope, if you will, because NC State kind of flipped the tables a little bit. They started getting good ozone time, and then they were able to draw a penalty on Florian Zajic. They were able to cap home a goal to tie the game at 2, but in the last couple of games, really the last couple of years of this rivalry, the way that North Carolina has responded after giving up a goal or scoring one is exactly what you want as a head coach. And if you're Steve Rice, you come back to the Greensboro Coliseum, first time since, you were on the ice skating. This time you're behind the bench. He's got a lot to be proud about tonight because of the way his team performed.
And they bounced back. I feel like it's really difficult, like you mentioned in our first intermission, that they probably did not get a lot of sleep. But to come back, having your fans here, obviously the atmosphere, he has a lot to be proud of.
And on the other side for NC State, this is a game that really they did not look at dropping. Maybe you get away with a win last night. You get to a 9-2 run record. Their only losses this year being 2 against Liberty and 1 against Delaware. And you play your arch rival, and a team that on paper does not have the same record as you. But that's why we don't play these games on paper, especially these big rivalry games. The Tar Heel faithful showed out in force today. They got a big win today as well. And moving forward for UNC, they travel to ECU next week before they play the Gamecocks over in Charlotte on an outdoor game at Truist Field, Grace, where things are looking up for UNC. Again, a transition year that first year, but a lot to be proud about heading into this last couple of games before the Christmas break.
You said it perfectly. Truist Field will be another great venue to play at, and make sure you bundle up.
Yeah, it could be a little bit cold there, but North Carolina and South Carolina will play each other in that game. NC State, on the other hand, has a week off next week before they travel to Alabama to play 2 games there. Then they come back to Raleigh, play Alabama once at home, and then they play against Alabama the day after North Carolina and South Carolina face off at Truist Field. But the final count for tonight's game here in Greensboro, 3-2, the North Carolina Tar Heels over the NC State Ice Pack here on ESPN+.